What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Trigger Mike back again. Today is Thursday. Y'all already know what day it is. It's Thursday, June 22nd, 2023. Thank y'all for coming through and thank y'all for rocking with me on this beautiful Thursday. Rained a lot last night in the Houston area, but we all clear today. Some places I heard got power out in the Houston Northwest area. So hopefully that's not the truth because, the heat out here, it's not playing. The heat is on hell, as some of y'all like to say. And yeah, it's definitely like that. So hopefully those people can find accommodations elsewhere if you suffering from power outages. Wanted to say something real quick. I hope this isn't true, but according to the Ocean Gate people, it says all 5 passengers aboard the missing Titan submersible have sadly been lost. That's a direct quote from the Ocean Gate. The people that created that underwater submersible that went missing. So I think they went by the amount of oxygen. So sad. That is sad. And for those people who I've really been kind of disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I've been disappointed by what I've seen in the public spaces about this thing. You're acting insensitive because most of these people are white. That is not human. You are supposed to have respect for the human condition. But other than that, I have seen people that keep saying things that I'm not even gonna say I agree or disagree. But I've seen people say things such as look for missing children the way you look for these 5 billionaires or whatever. And there's something interesting about that to me because I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I don't think you will ever get. Okay, this is what power and influence can buy you. It can buy you attention. It can buy you concern. All right, it can buy you the Coast Guard and the Navy deep water diving to trying to find you. This is why if you understand the purpose of why I do what I do at all, understand that I know that they only care about people with power and influence. And it's my job. It's my job to care for my own family, to look out for my daughter, to look out for my son and my wife and some of my neighbors' children that they play with. It's my job to do that. We supposed to look out for each other. God willing, I will never need the police to go find my kid. I will never need them. So, prayers up for those people, man. Some of y'all being very insensitive about the situation. Powerful people will always wield this type of power. I'm sorry. I understand that. I wish more people understood that. It's on each of us. If you are trying to make a comparison between this situation and them looking for kids on the street, trust me, what you expect to happen will never happen. That's our job. All right. Mothers and fathers, neighbors, look out for people in your own community and we will be better off. But that's a somber note. Let's bring it back to what we're here to talk about today. Shout out to all of our viewers nationwide. Yesterday, I found out we got viewers in the Philippines. So shout out to y'all for coming through. Yeah, man, we're about to do what it do on this. I see a lot of people streaming today, but y'all could be anywhere, but I'm glad you're here with me because I know this is something that y'all want to talk about all week. We had to get to the UMAR stuff yesterday, but ever since this incident happened on Sunday, I've been wanting to talk about it. So we can get to it today for sure, for sure. Today's topic is the real reason why your dad wasn't there. So before I get into the meat and everything that I'm talking about, pause, Jesus. Before we get into the main topic and all of that, I'm putting a call out to everybody that has a story, and I mean a real story, men and women alike, that want to tell us a real live personal account of why their father wasn't there. But this is what I need from you. I need there to be a difference between what you were told and what actually happened. And I need you to come up and tell us the proof. All right. I need you to talk to us about why you were told one thing, but the opposite happened to be true. All right. So remember, we talk about real topics here on the Trigger Mike Show. I've already gotten two messages on my Instagram before we even started the show. This topic was triggering to people. I'm sorry. Let me stop saying people. To women. to women already triggered by the topic before the show even started. Do y'all not understand that this is marketing? My titles are created to provoke your insecurities, but my dialogue is aimed at provoking your intellect. Stop getting triggered by the title. If you got something to say, come on up and tell us. This is an open forum. None shall stop you. Come on up in the Trigger Mike show if you think you can hang. You know you got a bunch of intelligent brothers that come on these panels every day. So if you think you can hang, come on up. Come on up if you think you can hang with us. We'll talk to you. We got some women that aren't afraid. Okay, so I'm putting out the call to men and women alike. Come up on the show today and talk about this topic with us. Shout out to the sponsor, Tej Hanley, 30% off along with a free gift. The link is in the description down below. If you want to go ahead and grab a box of that, please do so. Please do so. The link is in the description. I washed my face. I just got out of the shower a little while ago. Got my hair cut this morning. So let me get things started because this is a topic I really want to talk about. If you would like to support the show, please do so by form of super chat. You can send your super chats in and I will read those aloud, each and every super chat. If you feel like you don't want to come up on this topic, but want to share a little bit about a personal account of the topic today, about the real reason your father wasn't there, what you were told versus what was actually true, please send a super chat and let us know. I would really appreciate that. And I will read every single super chat aloud. I will. All right. So yeah, man, let's get into it. So this topic stems from Father's Day. Once again, happy Father's Day. And special thanks to everybody that pushed that energy out there to make Father's Day special for all of the dads in their life, their father, their brother, their cousins, anybody that you know that is an excellent dad that stepped up and is stepping up to do what they can do for their family. What is especially hard and what this topic is actually about is fatherhood, trying to be a father within a broken family. We know that historically in this country, America, the United States of America, is the home of broken homes. We do that shit better than everybody else on earth. That's a terrible way to say it. We have the highest rate of broken homes. It's weird, right? All of these resources, we consume more than every single other country. We make more trash. We buy more products. We buy more Amazon. We use more plastic. Consume. And all of this abundance that we got here, somehow we also have the greatest rate, the highest rate of broken families. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making a correlation, but you be the judge. Y'all are smart people. You be the judge. People who have everything and nothing. Is that a good way to put it? We got everything, but a lot of us got nothing neither. Anyway, so this topic stems from Russell Simmons, his ex-wife Kimora Lee Simmons, and their daughters. Their current situation going on now. What happened, and I don't think I have a clip of that, was that one of his daughters put a picture of her mom on the runway with her up saying Happy Father's Day. Now, first off, let me just say that is highly disrespectful. Highly disrespectful. I do not care. Let me give y'all a little bit of backstory about where I'm coming from on these type of topics. We do not condone disrespect from children. That is something that I've seen in the States that is actually sickening. The level of respect that you have for your elders, not even just your parents, for your elders. You are supposed to have the utmost respect for your elders. No matter what you are feeling, it cannot come out the way you feel it towards your elders. If you were somebody who was raised like that, who actually had a good upbringing, for some people to put things like that to you, put a 1 in the chat. I don't give a damn what I feel about my dad. And I haven't always liked him. Remember, I'm the eldest. He went in on my ass my whole life. I've had long stints where I was indifferent about him. Never would that shit have come out as disrespect. Ever. So I'm disappointed in a lot of mothers for even allowing some shit like that to go down. Women today love when their children start bashing their father. You are a devil. You have a demon spirit in you if you want your children to help you go against their own father. I'm sorry. That shit does not happen everywhere. Y'all made that shit normal here. It does not happen everywhere. I don't give a damn what he did. I've seen women be like, don't you ever talk to your father like that. You find a different way to communicate with your elders. You always show respect. So off rip, they were wrong. This entire dialogue got off wrong. The daughter put up a note for Father's Day with the mother saying, Happy Father's Day. So Russell Simmons went off. Y'all help me out, but I think he went off on their ass. You wanted his attention, you got it. Now, I understand that most of you are going to come back in the chat and you're going to be like, oh, but he yells at his children. They sent something of him yelling on FaceTime. I watched that video of him yelling at his girls through FaceTime multiple times. Russell Simmons ain't got nothing on my daddy. Russell Simmons ain't got nothing on some of y'all daddies. He is a New York nigga. That's just the way he talked. Y'all forgot because y'all been around y'all mamas so long that is what daddies are like. We are not soft. We are emotional and passionate and aggressive about our own children. I can say stoic about anything, but when it comes to how my children are raised, I will get emotional about that. I will let them know that's on my mind. You have one chance to make good children, to make them understand their mistakes. That's why fathers are the most intense when it comes to their children. Trying to send us a video, act like he being abusive. He's talking to his child. Your daddy ain't got nothing on my dad. Forget FaceTime. My dad would have popped up on my ass. Drove 45 minutes from work and popped up on my ass. I don't give a damn what age they are. Those are his children. I don't give a damn what age they are. In fact, it should show you the lack of understanding and the lack of maturity of the children that they have to be talked to that way. Y'all got this shit backwards. Y'all thought I was about to be like, oh, he's terrible. But I want y'all, before I keep breaking this down, I want to bring the video up of the daughter did trying to air out her family's dirty laundry. There's one point I want to make on this. Only one point that I want to make on this. But y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Hit the like button right now. We're going to get into this video of, I believe her name is Aoki Lee. I don't know if she's the younger. I don't know if she's the older daughter. But this is the daughter of Russell Simmons trying to air out his dirty laundry. But I want you to pay special attention. Everything she says, she naturally wants you to believe he's a bad man. She naturally wants you to believe that she doesn't want her business out there. And then the very last part of the video where I'm going to stop it, we'll see what happens. Stay tuned.
He said to her at the middle of the night to like take her some papers to like sign away her inheritance or whatever. And then she was like, should I be signing this? And I was like, what? He like sends people to threaten her. And you know Ming is a calm person. No, please stop with the bullshit posted about, I hope you find peace and privacy, and this is venting. I have been dealing with this my whole life. This is not new. It's not new drama. I already live in the drama, so now I'm just sharing. This is not... There's no therapy you can go to with someone who weaponizes the fact that you don't want to go public, right? Because when he posts something and then I don't respond, because I'm like, I don't want to have drama. And so he's been weaponizing that we don't want to have drama. I'm not, I care about my family. I don't like to have this out there. But he uses that against you. Well, what are you going to do about it? You're not going to say something. So now I'm saying something. And if you're going to say one more thing about, you should be in private in therapy, get off, please. Because I'm telling you, he uses that against me, and I'm not going to have it. And my sister and my mother, and I'm not going to have it. And he's going to spin the whole narrative about, your mom turned you against me. I am very independent-minded. You can ask my mom. She has an issue with me every day since I was 4. I want to cut my hair. I want to move out. I want to do this. And she's like, we negotiate all the time. I'm not the type to whatever you say, mommy. I'm kind of an independent individual in that way. She would know. She raised me with a lot of work. So he's going to say, she's not with me. I'm in New York. Like I said, staying with a friend because he will not even give me $100 for rent, which is fine. I'm saving. But all that money you're crying, he doesn't give me $1. Not that you need it, people work. People are 18, 20. They don't have parental support. My mom supports me.
All right. There it goes. There it goes. Can y'all guess what the whole video was about? Can y'all guess what the video was about? She said all that in the beginning. She said all that at the beginning, but she couldn't help but expose the reason she made the video. The reason her sister sent that Happy Father's Day card. I need y'all to understand what I'm actually doing in these streets. I need y'all to understand that why men are on this. I need y'all to understand why men are on this stuff today. Men are out here pushing back and fighting back because we used to believe you women at your word. From college, I used to listen to everything women said. Y'all were so smart. Y'all were so well put together. All y'all wanted was equality. All y'all wanted was to tell your side of the story. The second you tasted blood in the water, ooh, we got these men's attention. Y'all started lying like shit. Everything became about y'all. Nothing became about unity. Nothing became about family. It is all about you, your personal achievement, your personal pocketbook, what your daddy can do for you, what your divorced husband can do for you, your ex-husband, your ex-boyfriend, the government, and everyone. Y'all will lie to get y'all freaking way. She said 2 minutes of bullshit. 2 minutes of bullshit. Then said, well, he doesn't give me any money. Got your ass. Got you. That's what this is about. That is a textbook case of affluenza. Now, do y'all understand why the daughter had to send that thing that said Happy Father's Day? Because the mom got to keep banging dudes and marrying rich dudes to keep her and her daughters whole. Because she has to ask her mom for money. Because a good dad will not influence that affluenza type behavior. Get a damn job. You spent your whole life putting your mother over me and ignoring my teaching. Use your mother. I am not a wallet. I'm not a pocketbook. I know countless dads. Y'all said they were adults. Let them go out there and be adults. She gave it away. She couldn't help herself. Boom, got your ass. He don't give me any money. That's what all of this is about. Now, am I sitting here trying to admonish Kimora Lee Simmons? Yeah, a little bit anyway. Yes, that's what this topic is about. But let's have the real discussion. This is about broken families. Because this is one of those textbook cases where you can see that the mom has aided in turning the daughters against the father, turning the children against their dad. All the women are going to see is what he does. They will never acknowledge anything the mother does. That's why we here on the Trigger Mike show talking about it. So everybody that's hitting me up on my Instagram, you're always blaming moms because you don't. We don't have to blame anybody. I want y'all to understand something that my mom told me. This lady, like, listen, I got to tell you, sometimes I feel like I was born to do this show. Because whenever you see me really get into a topic, whenever you see me really get into my bag like that, I'm taking something I was told or something that I was taught, and it is just flowing through me. My mom said, and I'm going to preface it by saying this, Kimora Lee actually made her own video. She actually made her own video talking about Russell Simmons and trying to set the record straight. Basically, I guess trying to put a buffer to what the daughter had done. Trying to back it up and support, like, hey, he's just like this, okay? What do you think it's about with her? It's about money. You've seen this behavior with women that are attached to rich men. Nas's baby mama, his first baby mother, had to use the daughter to get money from him because he wasn't paying child support since she was grown. He didn't have to pay child support no more. Can you please financially support my mother? Why? Why? She grown. He doesn't have to do a damn thing, in my opinion. Y'all make sure to hit that like button, by the way. Hit that like button right now. But my mom told me, beware of the person that rushes to tell their side of the story first. Women always rush to tell their side of the story first. A woman told me this. My mother told me this. Always beware of the person that rushes. They rushed to Instagram. I don't like my family business out there. They don't fucking put it out there then. How about that? Always beware of the person that rushes to tell their side of the story first. Our entire society, if you look at who rushes to Instagram, who rushes to TikTok, to Facebook Reels, to Twitter, to put it out there that something happened to them, chat, please be sincere. Most of the time, is it the men or is it the women? Who rushes to tell their side of the story first? I'll wait. I just dropped that link for those of y'all want to come up and talk about this. I got questions. Women, 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 women's. Listen, they always rush. They always rush to tell their side of the story first. The reason why this is important is because today's topic is the real reason your dad wasn't there. If you have any accounts of this happening, please come up and talk to me. The link is dropped and I'm going to drop it again for y'all to come up and tell us some real firsthand accounts. And I have questions because this has not only destroyed the community, this is going to destroy America as we know it. Because most people do not have the community, the village, the father in their life that they need. And this is destroying an entire ethnic group. So we need to have this discussion. Let me bring up John the Baptist. Let me bring up Trey. What's up? What's up?
Oh,
What's good? What's good?
I can't
Chilling,
be on here
chilling.
with I can't be on here with Trey. It's gonna be a bad day.
Oh yeah, Trigger Trey.
What's going on with you, Trey? How you doing, man?
I'm good, y'all. What's going on?
Not much,
I'm
man.
chilling, man. What are y'all opening thoughts on this?
I'll let you go first, Trey. You want to?
Sounds like another spoiled rich kid to me. I want to read something that Russ wrote in response to this. He
Yeah.
said, I'm reading these stories about how a judge ordered me to pay Kimora 40,000 a month in child support, and I want to make something very clear. Nothing was ordered; it was given. My kids have a fabulous life. They are exposed to a broad range of artistic and scholastic educational programs, and I'm very happy to contribute to that as long as I have it. They can have it. If I ever don't have it, I'm coming to live with them. I have never ever thought that Russ was a man who didn't want to take care of his family. He never came off as that way to me. I
Hmm.
believe that those girls have been taken care of very well throughout their life. And this sounds to me like a situation where maybe that she wanted something, maybe specifically, or maybe she wanted to do something. I don't know. It's something along the lines of she didn't get what she wanted. And this entire thing spiraled out of control. And maybe she asked her mom to help her out with this or try to convince her mom, and maybe her mom didn't give her what she wanted either. She has spoiled rich kid written all over her as far as I'm
Yep.
concerned. She's 20 years old, by the way, for those of you who don't know. She just looks like a spoiled rich kid to me. And now we're gonna, this here's the thing. Women like to use social media as therapy, and it blows my mind. It blows my mind that you run to a device or to an application that millions of people can hear your business, see your business. You want to tell everything about what's going on in your world. That's weird to me. That's wild to me. But I don't believe that Russ is a bad father. This is the first. I mean, he's been around for years since I was a child, right?
Hmm.
And I've never heard anything about him being a bad dad in 20 years. This is the first time that it's come up. Oh, now he's not supporting, not helping his children. I call BS. Something doesn't smell right here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as a dad, you already know what it is because this is the time. I'll say this: this is the time where he's supposed to take over. So, what most men are saying, especially men that have been through the whole child support thing, where you got divorced when the children were young, most men will tell you you will never impress upon those kids until they're 18 years old, and you can actually tell your side of the story. But by then, for most girls, unless their mom is just terrible, it's too late. They're already on her side for the rest of their life. They're literally only calling you when they have a problem that they needed fixed immediately, and they will 100% degrade you for not being able to fix it or refusing to fix it because you're their dad, so to speak. But think about it. If you lose that much proximity from your children, you'll love them, of course, but you won't be close to them. And everything that you're trying to teach them as far as work ethic, because look at who he was. Look at all the people that came from what he created, right? So he naturally probably has a drive to teach them all that he's learned along the way. But they've been under their mother so long, they don't want to hear that shit. They just want to spend more money. This had, like you said, has spoiled rich kid written all over it. But somehow the women are going to find a way to make excuses. Somebody even tried to tell me, well, maybe his SA allegations has something to do with this. If his ex-wife and his daughters aren't talking about that, why the hell am I talking about it? Right?
Right.
They
They,
will
they
find
didn't bring
anything.
it up at all.
They didn't bring it up at all. Why should I, Trigger Mike, bring it up? Damn, boy, they want men to be at fault for everything when women are the ones advocating to raise these kids. But John the
I can't
Baptist,
lie. I'm kind
So,
of. Oh, my bad.
so first thing I thought when I saw this story was I thought about 50 Cent's son. The first his first one. I think it's his first one son anyway. When they
yep.
had the when they had the money, when they had the issue over the money. That's the first thing that popped in my mind. And then so, with my spiel that I've been saying here lately is this: men must learn to be intentional rulers. Never be a nice guy. Never be a nice dad. Never be a nice husband. Never be a nice boyfriend. Never be the word. If they put nice in front of it, never be that. Be intentional rulers. Now, because whenever you are nice, it puts you in a weak position. It makes you have to worry about people's feelings and emotions. It's not our job to be concerned about your feelings and emotions. It's our job to provide for you to make sure that you live in a nice, stable home. It's a scene. It's a scene in a movie that actually brought this to life for me. That made me look at this. I've always kind of thought like this, but this scene in the movie made it look like a real life example. It's the Denzel Washington movie. I think it's called Fences. When he's talking to his son, he's saying, "Why don't you like your dad?" His son asked the dad, "Why don't you like me?" He
Yep.
said, "Like you,
It
like you.
ain't my
What
job
like?
to like you.
Who
It ain't
said
my
I?
job to like you."
Who said I gotta like you?
He said that.
He said, who said I gotta like you?
To me, that was the coldest line ever. But it's
Yeah,
so
facts.
factual because
Yeah.
as men, we don't worry about who likes us in life.
Yep.
We don't go around asking, thinking about that who likes us. We don't. As a matter of fact, if you like me or don't like me, it ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna change one iota how much my rent, my mortgage costs, how much light bill gonna cost. None of that matters based on how much you like me. So yeah, men must learn to be intentional rulers. Be decisive. Move in a certain way that your principles and standards and morals that you live by never come into question. That your decisions are pretty much already made by the time you come into when you come to a situation, your standards have already been set. Your decisions are pretty much already made based on your principles and more that you live by. And so now when your kids become adults and if they fail to honor your principles and standards and morals, it's not your fault. It's them. If they didn't take the time to learn who you are as a father and as a man, that's on
Mm-hmm.
them. I did my job to teach you these principles, these standards, and these morals. I did my job to raise you up under these standards, principles, and morals. And now it's up to you to honor them or to disown them. But if you disown them, you disown everything that comes with it.
Yep.
And that's how we
Uh,
got to move. Be intentional rulers. Do not be nice guys.
indeed. Black Neo Gibb, what's going on? What are your opening thoughts on the topic, bro?
Hey, what's going on, man? First of all, I love y'all show, the whole Lapeef Network. I think this is needed. But I want to say this. I'm kind of glad this happening publicly, man, because
Me too.
I've been seeing this happen for a long time, bro. Because like if you notice in a lot of I want to say like 90s movies, if you look at some situations like for instance Save the Last Dance where the girl she wanted to be a dancer, but I think her parents wanted her to be a doctor or something. And it's like a lot of movies have downplayed what parents want for their kids. And all parents really want is the best for your kid. Like you may have something where a kid wants to be a rapper, but his dad wants him to be a doctor. So the movie will make it seem like the child is right and the parent is wrong. And this I've been seeing this happen for a long time. I don't even know, I'm not even sure what Russell Simmons has done wrong to make them go off like this on him.
He's
Because
a
I mean,
black man with power.
because I mean, on the outside looking in, for all of us, we like, I would love to be that man's son, or you know what I mean? Like everybody on the outside, we would love to be in the position they in, but I'm seeing them crying and all these tears. I don't get that, man, and I'm trying to figure out, is it the media that has ruined our children's and our women's minds like this? I don't get it. I don't get how anybody could see this situation and situations like this and nobody just come to grips and say, hey man, this is what it is. But this is what it is. They do not respect us men at all. And look, I'm a working class man. I'm a contractor. If Russell Simmons can't keep his wife and his daughter happy, I don't hold a chance, man. I don't
Yep.
have a chance.
Yep.
Don't say that.
Let me just do this. He said 40,000. They haven't been together for 15 years, at least. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
20
It's been a
something
long
like that.
time. It's
Yeah,
been a long time.
been a
for
while.
a very long time. They broke
Yeah,
up in like
she
early
got
2000.
remarried. She married
She married Jamin Hunt too.
Amistad. Yeah, she married Amistad.
Is
So
she still
let's say
married now to this day?
40,000 times 12 is $480,000 a year. $480,000 a year times 15 years is $7.2 million a year.
Spoil rich kids.
God,
And
boy.
and and
They got 1% problem trigger.
yo, I don't
That,
feel.
yeah, those are different problems right there,
I'm sorry.
man.
It's
Jeez.
40. What seven? I just said $7,200,000. That's it's more than that, honestly. But I think they were married. Let me see when they got divorced. He never remarried.
And I mean, honestly, if you was Kimora boyfriend, would you marry her? You want them chicks to keep coming in, cause don't the chicks stop once they get married? If I'm your
That's
boyfriend,
if it's
Nah,
oh,
nah,
if it's
oh,
if
not
it's al if
child
it's
support.
alimony, if it's
Yeah,
alimony, it will, but not child
okay,
support.
yeah,
not
yeah,
child
you're right, you're
support.
right,
Yeah.
you're right.
Oh,
Child
he
support
definitely had
to
to pay
child
alimony. We forgot about that.
child
Yeah,
support
that's
is
what
to
I'm
eight. Child
saying.
support to
Well,
18.
she did get remarried. She married Digimon Hansu.
Yeah, she married Hyman
Yeah,
Hodgson.
And then
well,
she got
no,
married again
no,
after
she
that.
got married again after that. Hold on.
Yeah.
Right.
How
She had
soon?
a
How soon?
child.
How soon after divorce did she get married though?
Hang on, I'll look at that.
It was kind of quick. It wasn't that
Yeah, it
long.
was, if I remember, it was she got with dude like
Yeah,
real quick.
yeah, it wasn't that
So
long.
the alimony didn't last long then.
Yeah, I don't even think. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure if she married Jamin Hansu. I know they just had a kid together.
Yeah, she might not have married him, but
So
what
she,
does it matter? I mean, I
Man,
was main to the topic.
yeah, but either way,
Yeah,
man.
she went through some men though. She didn't sit down there, lamenting that she left. Man, she got the bag and she left. It's Trey. I mean, you still on opening thoughts, though, aren't you?
Yeah. Go ahead, Payne.
Trey, right? Trey.
No, it's you.
All
You're
right.
right. You're right. They were never married.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So listen, I have mixed emotions. Not mixed emotions. I have mixed thoughts about this. Right. I think this Kimora, whatever the name is, Kimora Lee, is the kind
The
of
dad,
woman.
I mean the mom.
Yeah, the mom. I don't think this is the kind of woman that a man who properly vets somebody would have ever married in the first place.
Yep.
Because I mean, they gave us the illusion in the media that they had some kind of good relationship, but I think that was always bullshit. I think that was always because it's clear to me that the kids have an issue with him because of her.
facts.
And it's just clear to me because kids just on their own won't do that. Now, I was on another panel where they talked about fathers being present for their children. And I would imagine that I don't know how much time he was able to spend with them while they were growing up and when they were in the household. So there might be some of that going on too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's clear to me that, that Kimora, she's as soon as they split, she was on his ass from the beginning. She started leaking bad shit about him and all that kind of stuff.
And
So,
that's what I don't understand.
so I don't think that their marriage was that good. And I'm thinking that if he thought about it, he should have never married that woman. Should have never married her. And then, that doesn't absolve the girl from coming out publicly saying what she said. Whether it was for money or not, it's almost unforgivable. It's almost unforgivable. Now, she's his daughter, and somehow, daughter's somehow going to get a second chance. If it was a son, I would do the 50 cents thing. I don't even want to see your ass no more.
Yep.
But, so I'm going to just leave it there. It's a sad situation. And Russell Simmons, even if he's not a pristine guy, I don't think he deserves this from his family like that. I mean, it's been a long time, like 15 years. Well, get out of here. But that's the power of a woman. They can just bend everything to where you're at fault for every damn thing. And the only thing I would fault him for is he probably never should have married that woman in the first place.
Our pain.
I look. I'm reading an
Our
article.
pain.
I'm reading
Yes,
an
sir.
article from 2012, and this article says that Kimora and Digimon broke up because Russell refused to continue to pay for their lifestyle, their extravagant lifestyle, which then led to an argument between Kimora and Digimon that they couldn't recover from, which is why they broke up.
You can't make this up.
You can't make it up, bro. It says in quote. It says they had a big fight over money because Russell Simmons.
Oh shit! Do you know what? Do you know what that's about?
For the couple's extravagant lifestyle.
Do you know what that's about too? Because remember, if she gets, so this is what she was doing. They never got married.
Over.
She never got married because the alimony would have stopped.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god!
And Russ said, "To hell with that. Y'all not finna to live off my dime. I'm done." And then the two of them wound up getting into a fight. Yeah.
What the hell? And then, so look at the timeline. Look at the time. You said that was 2012?
Yeah, that article was June.
Do you know when it said she married the white dude? 2014.
Wow.
So she was dating the first guy, but married the second guy.
She had a
Second guy
baby
must
by
have that
Damon
money.
Hochul, by the Amistad actor.
Yeah, he ain't
The
had
second guy.
a lot of money.
The first guy that had no money, so she couldn't marry him. He was not an
Right.
option. He was
Yeah.
hurt. He was
No,
hurt.
no.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not. It's not even that he doesn't have money. You know, he's an accomplished actor. It's
Right.
that if she married him, her gravy train would run. Remember, he doesn't have access to what Russell was giving her, so she was probably paying for the house that they were living in. Man, this is just disgusting. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
we're
kinda
gonna stop trying to paint Russ as the bad guy here.
yeah, man.
But
Yeah.
hey, I want to just say this, right? So what we need to do is stop telling dudes, hey man, stick to your purpose, get your bag up. Then the woman will come in your life. See what I'm saying? And this is what happens when that happens, right? You're at risk to get a woman like that who will deceive you because she see what you got. She see how, oh man, he's getting this thing. That's more money for me to take. Yeah, if it breaks. So these women, we have to be honest. Let's be honest. These women are planning. They're scheming. They're coming in with intentions to take, right? And I'm not saying every woman, right? But a lot of these women, this is why they put the 6 figures out there, right? And all that old stuff out there. Because if they get with you and they know eventually they might get tired of you, they want to be compensated. And that's why we got to stop selling this. Hey man, just focus on the back. No, you got to watch these women. You got to be. I mean, I'm almost want to say. I know Trigger might want to agree with me. You have to marry equal or up for it to be any type of like leverage. Because if you marry down, you're vulnerable.
Male hypergamy. Hey,
I would say this. I would actually go one step further. I know y'all, and this is not a popular opinion, but I would say if you are a young man, get married about 22, 23 with a girl that's in the same class as you, that you share the same values with. That way, you know, it's no foolproof plan, right? But at least if y'all build together, she's invested in what you've invested to. She's gonna see it the same way you see it. Now, that's not a perfect player, but it's like I think it's one of the best models out there now.
Here's your problem, John the Baptist. Here's the problem with that, right? A lot of young women, right, are pushing the independence. So
Hold on. Truth, Ruthless. You got to hear what I said. I said share the same values as you.
Not right, like that's why I'm pointing.
Real quick,
they don't.
Came up real quick,
These women,
even so I know it's you.
Ruthless.
Yeah.
You're not listening. You're not listening, Ruthless.
I understand, but you're not hearing me. These women are deceiving people.
No, he's talking about they have the same values as you.
Right. I hear what he's saying. I'm not disputing what he's saying. What I'm saying is these women are deceiving people.
But Ruthless,
you can't deceive values, man. You can't. No, you can't, bro.
Is she fine?
You can't.
If she finally got
that means
nothing.
Never mind, Ruthless. You got it, Ruthless.
Let me get these super chats read. So, Payne, I'm gonna need you to run the dialogue for a little while.
All right, cool. Who's next? My man, Barnabas. So what?
Hold on, real quick. Let me get these. John the Baptist says Aoki is shaming her dad for money. She couldn't help but say it, right? And no, he doesn't give me money. Oh, I was like, oh damn. If you'd have left that part out, maybe we would have believed you. Maybe. Advanced Perception, $2. Nas' daughter, 50's son, and now Russell Simmons. Listen, man, it's really, I think we have hit ahead as a society.
Yeah, what Nas' daughter do?
What women need to actually understand is that, like I said, we believed y'all. This is not some kind of random assault on women. We believe women for the better part of 30 years and everything that y'all said. Remember, men did not have access to media to talk. Y'all rushed to tell y'all side of the story first. We helped y'all shame men for 2 decades. Now we're realizing that, oh snap, there's another side of the story too, and maybe lies were told. So that's what we're just trying to unearth here. But Payne, go ahead. I'm gonna get the next question.
Second question after you.
I do. So this is mostly what we're going to be talking about today, and I'm gonna get other questions as well. The next question is, what's the real reason most dads weren't there for their children? Y'all unpack that, tell your stories, and we'll chop it up. Go ahead.
Hey, Barnabas, you up next.
Yeah, can I still talk about the Simmons or not?
Yeah. Go ahead.
The one thing of note that no one's mentioning, and I remember when I first came to recognize who this couple was a long time ago. They had like a VH1 show, and they were up there showing how perfect their life was and how wonderful everything was. But when you read into it, and something that's not being mentioned is he started dating her when she was like underage. No one's mentioning that.
Right.
Like 15, 16, 17.
Because it's not necessary. It's not even necessary to mention.
Why not?
Because hold on. Let me explain why. Because if she got married, that means someone legally signed off on it.
They didn't get married at that age when he started dating her, and I don't want to sit up here and simp for some woman and bash a man and kick him when he's down, but if that happened now, everyone would want him arrested. He's another one of these big shots that, he gets a pass because he
no.
Made music.
The words that you said they were married she was married when she was at a young age. So if she was married at a young age, that means someone legally signed off on it.
That's not what he said. He said he started dating her.
Dating.
She was underage.
Is that rumor or is that fact?
He first said marriage. Then he changed. Then when I questioned it, then he said dating.
Okay, let's go on.
All right, y'all. What the hell does that have to do with what we're
That's what I was trying to say. It had nothing to do with it at all. Nothing.
Do not
all.
gaslight my show. That has nothing to do with the topic.
Had nothing to do with it at all.
The real reason why most dads weren't there for their children.
Can I, if I may? Basically, he raised her as a child, like a child wife.
It had nothing. You're doing it again. You're doing it again. It had nothing to do with the topic.
Wait, hold on.
Okay. If I'm disturbing it, I'm sorry. I'll sign.
No. Stop, Barnabas. Wait a minute. Okay, so you said what you had to say. Now bring it to the topic. Okay, now she basically was a grown woman, right? She was of age. Go ahead.
He basically raised her, and now she's old, and he's really old, and she's mad that she spent her youth with this guy who was much older, and she still wants to party.
Rich?
And now she's getting revenge.
Guys, this is opinion. Go ahead, you got your opinion, all right, but it doesn't make any sense to me. You know why?
We talking about. Wait a
second, though. I mean.
We need to do some facts, though. There's some facts.
You can have your opinion, but she had a full life, and she had a full rich life, better than 95% of the people on planet Earth. So let's not make her into some kind of victim. And you got anything else? Because I want to go to PH Diva. Because
hold on, Rich. We talking about the daughter. We talking about the daughter, not the wife. Talking about the daughter.
Yeah, but let him.
Rich,
Okay,
before you move on, we need
he wasn't here at first.
We need to fact check this. Kimora was born in 1975. They were married in 1998. She was 23 years old. So if you're saying that he groomed her, that means you're saying that he groomed her for 7 years before he married her. That sounds a little ridiculous. I don't think.
Just look it up. Just look it up.
I just did.
He just gave you some facts, but let me tell you this, guys.
She was 23 when they got married.
But that's immaterial, right? Let me tell you this. You know what? When a man marries a woman, guess what they call him? They call him a fucking groom. Okay, we're supposed to groom our wives.
She's supposed to be impressionable, bro.
So let's end that right there, and let's move on to the topic. But PhD, but go ahead, because we need your special brand of woman.
All right, sorry for gaslighting. I'll be listening.
No, I don't take it that way.
Take it easy, y'all.
All right, later. Go ahead, PH. You there? PH Diva, you there?
Your mic is muted, PH.
Yeah, your mic is muted. She must have moved on.
Well, I got experience in this.
Oh, there she is. Go ahead.
There she goes.
What was the question? I'm sorry, I was distracted.
Yeah, okay. You had any opening thoughts? Or the next question is, what's the real reason most dads weren't there for their children?
Well, I had come up because you all were talking about Russell. And so I wanted to make the point about him being a less than stellar person.
Okay.
And, also, I think it's a shame that the white man had to bring that up. But that's typical of your ilk. But as far as the real reason most dads aren't there for their children is because they choose not to be. I mean, it's really just that simple.
I got pushback.
No, don't
I
push
think
back.
I think that's a
Tell
I
him-
think that's a
Oh,
lazy answer.
Ruthless, let it
please,
go, let
please
it go,
don't. Please,
Ruthless.
let it go.
Ruthless, don't
Please let
entertain,
it
don't
go.
entertain it,
Hey,
don't
wait,
entertain
hold
it.
on, John.
It's a
Hold on, slow down.
Gentlemen,
Ruthless, you got a question for him?
it's a purposely triggering comment.
So
Please don't.
gentlemen,
No,
I
please don't
would
respond
caution
back to it.
you
Please
to
don't.
I'm
provide
respond.
your
Let me break some
input.
things down. Let me just
Ruthless
No,
and I
please
have
don't, Ruthless.
a
Please don't. Let it
But
go,
stop,
Ruthless.
Ruthless and I
stop it,
have
man.
a
we
Let him
give
have
it
full
all the time.
dialogue.
Yeah, we
Go
talk
ahead.
all the time. So I'm just gonna
Okay,
say
what's
this,
your
right?
pushback? What's your
There
pushback?
are PhD, that is a bad faith statement, right? Because there are many nuances why families are broken, right? And men aren't there. Sometimes drug addiction, death, prison, or sometimes the women just don't want them there. Sometimes the woman wants it, runs them off. Sometimes it's maybe he didn't want to have the kid and she wanted to have the kid and he didn't believe it was his kid. So they like
he
just
made
say,
a choice not to be there, right?
so the point is this, right? Well, I'm just saying there's a bunch of nuances
God.
though. It's not
It's
just
not
one blanket
always
statement
PhD
that
that you
men
make a
just don't
choice
want
not
to
to
be there,
be there.
right? Some dudes are in prison, right? They have no choice. They were arrested for whatever
No,
the
but
case
they
may
made
be.
a choice to do whatever.
Y'all
No,
gotta stop.
you can't say that.
Let's
Hold on,
not go
Sam.
there
I
because the
got you,
majority.
Sam.
Let's not
I got
go.
you,
Ultimately,
Let's
it's
not talk
always
about
going to
prison.
come down to a
Let's
I
not
got
choice.
talk about prison because
right,
most
I'm just
dads are
saying.
not going to prison,
No, I'm
right?
just saying. I'm just making it's just a nuance.
Wait a minute, Rufus. If we're going to talk about issues, there's two main issues when a man is not involved with his kid. One, he doesn't want to be, or two, the woman pushes him away, and he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't fight hard enough. But the prison shit is like more exceptions than a rule. So let's not say men are going to jail and some kind of numbers that's the main reason why they're not around. That's just bullshit.
Just for our pain. I'm just saying there's nuances, right? I'm not making that the
Yeah,
main
I
point.
agree with the nuances,
Okay?
but let's talk about the major
I
nuances.
understand that, but what she's saying is just because they chose not to. It's not
Well,
that simple.
that's one
Right.
legitimate
So
nuance.
I'm gonna land a plane.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to PhD Diva, right, is there's many nuances in why these things happen. It ain't just a man chose not to be. Sometimes men die, right? Somebody die. It ain't that he choose to die or whatever it may be. Or sometimes, right? It ain't even his kid, huh? Let's start talking about that. But
Then that wouldn't fit the
so
question.
so the point
All
is,
right, okay.
let's
Let's move on to the
just
next
a
one.
clear. Hold on, it just ain't a clear cut statement like
Yeah,
that.
okay, we got that. So
That's
let's
all I'm
just move
making to
on.
her,
You're right
not
there.
you.
CBN. I think you
Made a
were next
statement
up. You got
and
any
just put
opening
the whole blame.
thoughts?
Hey, one more thing.
Okay.
I go.
Let's move on.
One more thing.
Mr.
Here's
Payne, why are
Diva.
you always
Here's Diva.
rushing people, but then you'll talk for like 30 minutes and give a 30-minute
I ain't
monologue?
talking because we
You
got to
hate to
move
hear
on.
other
We got
people
to start
talk.
already.
Done in a minute.
Just chill out.
Last thing, PhD Diva.
Go ahead.
I'm really surprised at you holding Russell Simmons' feet to the fire when Cynthia G came on and said she wanted to delete all black babies. But you want
No. Stop. We ain't talking
That ain't the
about that.
topic. That's not the topic, man.
CBN, go ahead, man. CBN, go ahead. You got any opening thoughts?
Okay, my opening. No, okay, let me speak right now. Concerning my opening thoughts in this case.
You got to hold Cynthia G to the top point.
No, man. Come
Stay on
on,
topic,
Come on,
Ruthless. Stay
Rufus.
on
Let's stay on
topic.
topic.
All right, my bad,
Concerning my
I
opening thought for this topic. The issue concerning Russell Simmons and Kimora Lee is not as simple as you think. Anyone out here in New York City more knew when he met her, she was underage. She was a supermodel under the Victoria's Secret. Unless you was not living in New York City, you cannot speak on this. He was no different for Woody Allen either. So that being said, he did groom her. So you cannot say, oh, he just jumped on the wagon. He was pursuing her, not the other way around. So that is one topic. I'd like you to understand the history. Second topic, their lifestyle was very, very complicated. A lot of us knew that something was fishy about how they have a TV show and they project it was looking perfect. But we've seen a lot of rumors because if you remember all the hip hop magazines that were circulated within New York City publications, some were forced not to say XYZ because of his status in the hip hop industry. They were close-lipped about it. So we cannot address this topic like it's like a regular topic. Concerning why a lot of dads are not in the home, it's a case by case situation whereby one, there could be a falling out between two parents. Two, maybe the father got locked up. Three, maybe the father have a particular job where they're required to work on a rig. He'll be gone for a couple of months, or he's in the military. There are many different situations concerning this problem, but it's not as simple as you compare it black or white. But concerning Russell Simmons and Kimora, let's be known, he did groom her. She was a Victoria's Secret model. I let you want to understand history. He groomed her to make sure to get on. No, I'm being honest because if you ever forget history, he, R. Kelly, and Woody Allen was in the same boat. Let's not play that game. I live out here, and I know that. So,
CBN, let me say this to you: every man who marries a woman should groom her, or else
he did that.
You know,
that's
so
what he did.
that's why they call men groom.
I get it.
Because that's our job when we marry somebody.
But this one backfired. No, I get it, but this one backfired. What is another woman from outside trying to come in? He pursued her. He groomed her to what his ideal woman he wanted to be. Somehow along the line, it did not work the way he
he didn't do a good job of grooming her. Hey, Gusto, are you next?
She was a child.
Somebody else can go. She wasn't a child.
Gusto, are you next? Go ahead, Gusto.
Everybody went already?
Yes. No, Ekane's after you. Go ahead.
Oh, Lord.
I have one on this. I have one on this new subject, this new subtopic.
All right. So, I mean, Dustin, you just came up, right? Go ahead, man.
Yeah. Let me see. What's the question? What's the real reason men ain't in the house? Their dads weren't there. I don't know. Go ask them. But what I am pushing back, because I know it's coming, some blackety black all-stars gonna come up here and say, whoa, the welfare people came and knocked on the door and threw the man out.
Right.
Let me ask this in just some common sense. One, if you're on Section 8 and all that stuff and the man ain't there and you sign the paper saying, hey, he's not going to be there, isn't that kind of an agreement? And your ass ain't supposed to be there? And ain't that place not yours and it belongs to the government? But my father, my grandfather, my brother, my sister's husband, and all of them, they're black. No one knocked on the damn doors. Excuse me, sir. Are you black? Sorry, you just got to get up and leave and go out to the street somewhere.
Hey, Dustin, what about
somebody was coming up with
that? I just thought of the answer to this whole question, bro. I swear to God.
No. Before you go, man. We're talking about people living an elite life. Why don't we leave it there and answer the question in the context of two elite people, or at least elite man with a woman, you know? And is the answer still the same? Right? You know, I mean,
no, here's the answer. No, here's the answer. I already know. Oh, it's the women's. Oh, they're so monstrous, throwing the men in the streets.
I didn't say that to lead you to say.
I already know. All men are leaders all of a sudden. You just wake up and you're black and you're a leader. I already know. And these horrible monsters oppressing the men. No.
Here's
the bottom line. Every situation is question. There's some raw dog Ronnies leaving them in the street. Yeah. There's a big case, no. There's some people who just disconnect with the women. Yeah, it's a problem. And you got women in the Nation of Wigwam doing reckless stuff. It's a combination of all of it. But either way, it don't work.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, Ekene has to go next. You choose.
Oh my God! How we doing it? How we doing it? How we doing it now?
I mean, Ekene is
from yesterday.
It's a what now?
Okay, John. I guess you could. I mean,
no, I'm going. So this is what I got to say, right? Do dads stay at home? There are many reasons why dads leave home, right? One thing that even the scripture said was that it's easier for a man to deal with anything out there in the street than to have a very bad wife at home. Because you got to understand, when you have a bad wife at home, there is nothing you can do to please her. And it's like a pinch at the back of your waist that is pinching you, but you can't remove it. It's very painful. But at the same time, some men just don't want to be home. I'll be honest with you. As much as we have bad females that won't let a man stay at home to just be himself or be able to be a father, we also have men that do not want to be home, period. They want to be gone. They want to run the street. They will look for every single excuse. The wife might cough, and he's going to use that excuse of her coughing to run out of the house because not every man is made to be a father. Not every man that has kids is made to be a father. There are men that are wayward. We cannot take that away from men and put it on women all the time. There are crazy women. There are wayward men. The reason why I said that there are wayward men is because I know uncles that never want to be around to raise their kids. Their wives are good women, but they just don't want to be around. They want to be able to pursue different types of women, sleep different places, and do so anything. They don't want the restriction. They don't want the fatherhood. They don't want to be a father, but they didn't want to say it. They became a father under the pressure of you got to be married. There are women that are badly raised. There are women that are not raised properly. They don't know how to respect men. They don't know because they have never had either a father or a man figure that is older than them in that in their upbringing. It's always necessary that a woman should be raised with a father or men figure that are older than her because they can able to install loyalty in her. If she's never been through that, she will never, under any circumstances, be able to understand how a man's authority should stand.
All right. Hey, listen, John, let me let Truth Table get in here, then you go, okay? Go ahead, Truth Table.
What's going on, fellas?
All right. You got PhD, you got PhD in here too, so I know she ain't afraid.
I can handle her. Is this under the context of a man, having children, maybe being married or serious relationship? Just so I can answer it properly. Hello.
You asked a question. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what's the real reason why most men? Okay, go ahead, Truth Table.
What I believe is we're not giving any credence to it, and Chris Rock talked about it on his special Tambourine. That when a man separates from his woman, even under the context of marriage or whatever, and there's children involved, a man has to buy his way back into that position. The state makes sure of that. So what a lot of people don't understand is even men with means struggle with this, but they're easier to manage the situation because they have the means. The average person, if you separate from a woman and you have child support involved and things of that nature, has to come out of the pocket at least $10,000 to even get a lawyer to look at the case. And this is not guaranteeing that your custody is going to be changed or anything like that. Most people don't have $1,000 in their savings account. So the system makes sure men have a harder time regaining their position if there is a demise of the relationship. That's why I firmly believe most men don't want to deal with the headaches or can't afford to. So that's what my mic is muted.
All right. Hey, John, you had something to say? Go ahead.
Yeah. The real reason most men were not around for their children is because the value systems over time have changed. There was early time in American history, in our Black American history, where we needed each other, and each of us depended on the other one. We had a role to play, and our roles were interdependent. As time fast forward and men gave women equal rights, and the rights to make decisions, and to do things they wanted to do, the roles became cloudy, and there no longer clear line distinction what roles each person played. So therefore, as we fast forward now into 2023, we'll even go back into talking about Aoka. I can't say her name. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Why she doesn't appreciate her dad is because she grew up in a time period where her mom didn't really need her dad, only the finances and the resources. But women don't really need men, and men really don't need women in the modern time that we live in. I don't think it's a healthy thing, but it is what it is now. We've changed the role of what a man is and what a woman is in modern day society. Is it good? I say no. But the jury's still out for some people in modern day time because some people in this era tend to think that is a great thing to where we are right now. What I see it is a breakdown of family structure. And we're going to always be it's always going to be men are not around because the courts or lifestyles or decisions decide that we don't need each other anymore, which is going to make kids grow up and not respect the role of father and the role of mother.
All right, so did everybody go on this question? Because I have one for it.
No,
Go ahead.
I haven't got
I
on.
had
All right,
pushback.
all right. So go ahead, my man. You raise your hand first. What's that? Black Neo or whatever.
Black Neo 1, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, I was raised by a single
And you
mother,
try
man.
after that. Go ahead.
I was raised by a single mother, and for years I was mad at my dad, and I never even met this man because I couldn't figure out how in the world would a man not want to see a child that he made. And I mean, for years I was mad at this man and never met him. But when I go back to my hometown, I get the story. And I'm not going to put my mom's business out there, but maybe she didn't want to, maybe she was embarrassed to tell me the story or whatnot. But it's like out of sight, out of mind with my dad, bro. So I don't know if it's a bad or I can't say if it's his fault that he didn't come see me because I don't know exactly what happened between him and my mom. So we gotta be careful, kids. If you was raised by a single mother, you only get in one side of the story. I don't care how horrible it sounds. You only get in one side. Because I bet if I was to meet my dad and ask him, I'm gonna get a totally different story than what my mom told me. That's all I got on that, man.
I hear you. Hey, Kate, go ahead, Trey.
Yeah, the real reason why most dads are not in a house is they don't want to deal with these women. That's why. Let's be honest. Let's just keep it 100. They don't want to deal with these women. And they've sacrificed their relationship with their child for the peace that they get without having to deal with these women. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not condoning it. I'm just telling you what it is. There are a lot of men out here who just flat out, plain out, don't want to deal with the women because the women are a fucking headache. Plain and simple. And you don't want to be around them. She's messing with your peace. Not to mention after you pay thousands of dollars to get shared custody. To be able to see, let me explain something to y'all. I went from seeing my daughter 365 days a year when we all lived in the same house to when her mother and I broke up to seeing her about 150 days a year, seeing her 3 days a week, to her mom getting a hair up her ass and getting mad and taking me to court, and now seeing my daughter every other weekend, and now I'm at about 50 days a year. What have I done to deserve that? Not a damn thing. I didn't neglect my child. I didn't abandon my child. I didn't abuse my child. And yet, the only one getting punished and throughout this entire thing is me, the man. This is something that I told the judge, and I almost got held in contempt because I was pissed. And the only person who's getting hurt here is my child and me. So a lot of men, flat out, and I thought about it. There was a part of me who said, you know what? Fuck it. You know what? Fuck it. Why? What have I done? But I didn't decide to do that. I said, I'll take what I can get. This is what I can get, then that's just what I have. But there are a lot of men who are saying, screw it. If that's how you gonna treat me, screw it. Because most guys haven't done anything to not be able to be around their child. They haven't done anything. All that's happened is that they chose the wrong woman to have a child with, and they're being severely punished for it. So the real reason, in my opinion, is a lot of these men just don't want to deal with the woman. And it's unfortunate because it does hurt the child. I'm not condoning it. It does hurt the child. But I can understand where they're coming from, having spent over $20,000 in lawyers' fees myself.
All right, Truth, you have something to say about that? Truth Table, you have something to say about that?
Your mic muted, bro. Your mic muted.
No, he was just echoing what I was saying, which I appreciate because he's right. He's 1,000% correct. That's most of the cases. There's so many judicial ramifications when children are involved, whether you're married or not. It's the custody. The state has a vested interest in keeping men separate from their children because the only thing that makes a man vulnerable is his children, and they know that, so they penalize you for it.
So let me say this because I'm spitballing here till Mike gets back. Based on what we talked about already, is there any justification for his daughter to do what she did? Anybody want to take that first?
No. No, I don't care. I don't care.
Well, first of all, let me say, hey, PhD, you want to take that first? I don't know if she's there. Go ahead, Ruthless. Do you want to take that? Is there any justification for her doing what she did?
No, there's no justification. She was totally wrong. And once again, us men, let's be honest with ourselves, right? We got to be honest with ourselves. We have to be stronger at this point because they're weaker and they're going to use everything to take us down. And we can't be discouraged, even though it's kind of discourageable, but we can't be discouraged in this fight. We also have to get our house in order as men because, see, one thing about it, the courts, if we get a loud enough voice within us men, we can push that child support system to leverage that shit out. But we're too busy against each other, fighting each other, right? We come on here and say, well, women are this, women are that. But then on the other end, on the back end, we're too busy trying to hold each other accountable instead of trying to put together a plan to try to get some leverage in this situation for those who want to push marriage, who want to have a family and build. And the way the system is constructed, right? Like my man said down there, his woman got a hair up. Trey said her woman just changed up one day. She knows she's being incentivized. She knows at the end of the day, if she's tired of you and she doesn't really want to put up with you no more, she could just say, you know what? Irreconcilable differences. And that's it. The judge is going to say, what do you want? So with that power, right, in her hands, it makes her very, very not trustworthy at times, right? So once again, so it's back to us men. We have to learn. It starts with these YouTube spaces. Brothers, I'm going to hate to say it. We be disrespectful to each other on the YouTube spaces, over talking. We over here just so busy bashing each other that we're getting away from the big fight. And that is to, hey, let's move some things, man. We got to get at these child support court people. We need to counter this feminist movement, which is trying to take us down and demasculate us and make us the bitch in the house.
I disagree.
Well, we're going to Dusto. Go ahead, Dusto.
Yeah, I can push back again. So how is it talking about men and the leaders? Then everything you say is from a victim standpoint. And everything you say, oh, the court's going to get me. Oh, the women.
First, Dusto, do you think that she has any justification to do what she did?
You don't want the truth to that answer.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I asked it, so I do.
I'm interested in this one.
Okay, if the father is the leader, and these men make this and the men this, standing on a pedestal, and there's a monster in your house, who created that monster? If you're the leader. But when something goes wrong, here they go shucking and oh, the women's.
You're not answering the question, Sam. You're deflecting like you normally do.
I was trying not to answer the question.
Well, then why waste time? Let somebody actually answer the question.
Because I had a question myself, or I had a response. But I can never get 6 words out. But I get
No. You had a chance. I'm saying I asked you the question, and you could go on and say what you're going to say. Does she have a justification to do what she did? I mean, we could put the blame on who might be to blame, but does she justify?
Does she have a justification for going publicly and embarrassing her dad? That's what he's asking.
No, she dusted. But here's the deal. It's not he's some innocent man doing the best that he can.
I can think that.
It don't matter.
If you
Does he have to be?
Expect dust to come out.
That don't matter.
Does he have to be?
Does he have to be what?
Perfect. Does he have to be this innocent man in order? Okay, first, and hey, everybody, don't just start talking.
No, he doesn't have to do anything.
Brothers.
Don't
Don't cut that man off. Let Dusto finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He doesn't have to eat breakfast today if he doesn't want to. I'm just saying, what you create, expect it to react as what you create.
Sure. Okay.
If you're a bad coach, expect your team to lose.
Absolutely.
Which is what it is.
Absolutely. But you also
right? No, she dusted. Let's be real. It's unacceptable. But he created that monster.
Okay. Is it possible that, and with regard to and greetings, brothers.
All right.
With regard to and this is generic for Black people. Whenever we discuss anything, this thing we are in is so fucked up that there is room for all of us to be right. You cannot say Dusto is wrong. You can't say he's wrong.
They will, but I'll just
Nobody
troll.
has.
Okay,
Sure,
okay,
sure I
all right,
can. I can absolutely say Dusto.
bruh. It's a bit to discuss victim mentality, Dusto.
Mhm.
You are kind of leaning on what they do and what they don't. Number one, whenever we as black men disagree, we should start in the center with where it is we do agree, and then work out, number two, to the fringe of where we don't. And right there at that frothy shit, we have to understand that this isn't something that we did to one another. This is something that has been done to us. And that
No.
we can pick 100 reasons. We can pick there are dudes who
The
don't
white
leave their
man did it.
house. Dusto's right.
The white
There are
man
dudes
did
who
it.
don't leave their house, Dusto is right. If you have attitude reflects leadership, Dusto is right. If you have a team that is losing, it is on you, the coach. Does that make me ignore the team players I have to choose from? Am I to entirely ignore that there is a system in place? Are we supposed to ignore that? And that's an open floor question. Are we supposed to ignore that?
Well, Uncle Jeff, I
Yeah.
think you went to that outer skirts, but you went to that outer rim where Dusto don't agree with you no more.
Okay.
So,
I can learn. Now I can learn from Dusto.
Let me say something. Let me say something, guys. I'm so sorry. Let me say something. Let me say.
PhD, are you still there?
Hey, can I respond?
No, before you go, I would like to hear what she has to say on whether this young lady has any justification on doing what she did. I want a woman's opinion on that.
Okay, and so just to be clear, are we talking about the video she made where she said
Yes,
that he was stressing her out and whatnot?
No. Video where she's crying, saying that I
He didn't want to give her no more money.
Right.
Is that all she said, or did she say other things too? Because I heard her saying something about having panic attacks and him calling her friends and boyfriends and making all.
It might have been a different video, but the point is she outed her father.
I mean, was she justified in the video that you seen where she was talking about their business online? Was she justified for that one too?
If he did what she said he did, then certainly she is justified.
Okay.
Do y'all remember that time that
I got
LeBron
something
James
to
was
say.
tweeting his kids?
Yeah, I got a couple questions for PhD.
I got something
You didn't
to
even
say.
speak to me, but you want to start questioning me?
I gotta say something. I gotta say something real quick,
because he's gonna bust out by the seams. Go ahead, man. Say it. Hey, Justin, we'll come back to you. All right.
Yeah, let's put it this way, right? Let's put it this way. Based on my understanding of life is this. When a woman can't get what she wants, right? She goes public. And she will go public. She doesn't care if it's her father, her boyfriend, anybody. She's destroying everything on her path.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why if you look at throughout history, right? It's always been like that. When they can't get what they want, they out everybody. Because you know what? There is no consequences for their actions. You see what I'm saying? You as a man, if you out your family, there are consequences.
Yes.
From community, from leadership, from even from your own friends, there are consequences. But for a woman, there is no consequences. She will use her emotions as her defense. So for her to actually go out like that and speak of her father, that tells you an underlying problem that the mother has created. Because a mother's duty is to guide her daughters and not bring anything that goes on between her and her husband to her children. But in order to win the war of wars, which always involve money, she has to find witnesses and defense. And the only way a woman, even your mother or my mother, do defense is to use us as a bait. They're always going to use us as a bait, their children as a bait.
All right, so I got it. But before we go on, I mean, Dusto, say what you got to say, and then we go to the next question. How about that?
The Uncle Jeff, because he was saying it's a system in place. We've been put here we're all blackity victims. It's the white man. We can't do this. No,
I never said that.
No, here's my question. If it's so bad and we're such oppressed blackity victims, why would you bring a woman and bring your kids into that?
Okay, can I answer that?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do this uninterrupted. I'm not. It's kind of an ambiguous question. Yeah. Could you make your question a little clearer, and I'll take a stab at it.
You said it's horrible. All they're out to get us. Whoa,
no, I didn't. No, I didn't.
All the people, the women's.
No, I didn't.
Why would you participate?
No, I didn't. No, you're going to have to use my words. Please don't paraphrase inaccurately. Yeah, because that's not what I said. It's only because he's not saying what I said. He's hyperbolizing. I need you to.
You don't have to be disrespectful. Let's be concise on that one, so we can get to the next question. How about that?
Okay.
I don't know if we can. I don't think we're going to solve that issue. I mean, you have a difference of opinion, which is cool. So if you're thinking he said something, let's just move to the next one. What would compel?
Hold on, Rich. Let me answer your question about her.
Okay, go ahead.
Was justified. No, I don't ever think anything is justified to take to social media. I think it's one of the biggest problems in any community, not just the black community, is that we want to run to social media to have a therapy session. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. And I want to say something. There's a quote from Socrates, and he says, "Trust not a woman when she weeps, for it is her nature to weep when she wants her will." When they cry like that, it is a form of manipulation. I used to say this to my ex all the time. You want to have a conversation with me? Fine, but don't start crying, because the moment you start crying, you're trying to get leverage and you're trying to get the advantage in the conversation.
And I'll turn them tears off in a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Them same tears running, she'll turn them off and be a horrible bitch.
But the issue is, Scam, is I can't play the same game with her. Because if I start crying, nobody gives a shit.
Get your punk ass out of here.
Different women.
That's
you want the woman to be a woman, or you want her to act like a man?
Hold on.
I want her to act like an adult.
But you want femininity with no emotion.
No.
A rational adult.
I want her to act like an adult. Crying has nothing to do with her femininity. I want her to act like an adult. We can have a conversation. She can express
Scam likely, you have to agree with her because that is logical right there.
Hang on, David. Hang on. She can express how she feels the same way I can. Neither one of us have to manipulate each other.
Stop it, Scam. Of course she can. Yeah, I mean, she's an adult. Of course she can.
Yeah, you just reduce women to idiots.
Let's go ahead and move on.
Hold on. I'll say real quick, Scam. What you're doing right now, I'm being bluntly honest.
You're proving my point.
You're giving I'm not proving your point.
They're proving my point.
I know, but what you're doing, you're giving women a outlet to make an excuse, because what Trey was saying is not only truthful, it's beyond truthful, because this has been going on for multiple generations. All you're doing and trying to how would I put it? You're giving women a cap out.
Yeah, he said Socrates was wrong.
Hey, okay, so let's.
He's just a world-renowned philosopher.
What would compel a mother? Hold on, next question. What would compel a mother to keep a child away from her father? Hey, truth table, if he's still there, why don't you go? Truth, are you there? Are you not there? Go ahead, Ekene. You want to go? Go ahead, man.
Yeah. Repeat that question again. What would compel a mother to
keep a child away from the father? What would compel a woman to do that?
It's malice. Malice, number one. Number two is it's malice mostly malice, because number one, what she does when you argue with her, she will find a way to get back at you. Or if you're dating somebody else, which is also malice, it's always malice. If you're dating someone else, it's malice. She knows that your children are egg. You see what I'm saying? They are egg. So when you hold on that egg, right, at the elevated level, right, and you drop it, and she drops that egg, right, she knows the man is going to leave everything to catch that egg. You see what I'm saying? Because he doesn't want that egg shattered. So he would do anything. So she will always dangle that egg in the air, like she's about to drop it, to get his attention. but also get him to crawl to her. So men always make this mistake of trying not to let it break. She's never going to break it. If she has a matches and she's trying to lit your house, lit the house, right? And you bring in water, she's going to keep trying to lit the matches, you know. But if you bring a gasoline, now she want to negotiate.
Yeah, but let me
You
tell you,
cannot,
some
you
women will
cannot,
break the egg. Some women
yeah.
will break the egg to
A
get you.
woman to shoot a hole in the boat in your boat, knowing she
Yes.
can't swim.
So,
Yeah.
I hear you. Go ahead, Uncle Jeff. You can go next.
Bars.
Okay. Let me start here. Let me start
I
with
get you.
let me get the women. Let me get the women's point of view from my male point of view out of the way first. Because the man is a horrible, deceitful, child molesting, violent, because of all of that shit. Now the problem is not enough of us fit that category, as opposed to those of us who are being kept from their children. And Brother Trey, you need to get to me off of this. I can discuss some of it, but I've been through the same thing. I'm with a couple of fathers' rights groups. Mostly like Ekene was dropping that echinacea pimp.
Victim bonding.
A woman scorn. The key word is scorn. When a woman is not with you, most times she don't want you back. She just don't want you happy. If she sees happiness on you, especially if you found it first, oh shit, I am going to find a way to interrupt your happiness. Now, what you have to do with this court system, because the court system doesn't give a fuck about what she does to you. The court system gives a damn about her crossing that white man in the black robe. So what it is up to you to do is to draw out the parameters so clear legally and make a log of her transgressions with regard to this court paperwork. So when you go back, remember, this judge got 5 minutes to look at what you got and fuck your family up, because that's his job. If the three things you don't go to court with are right, wrong, and common sense, they have no place in a court of law in America. You need influence, perception, and documentation. And if you don't have 2 out of 3, God bless you. So a woman, yes, what would compel a woman to keep a child away from a father? Any type of discontent that causes her to draw a weapon. She will draw any weapon she can. She will weaponize the police against you. Maybe I'm making that up. She will, here's a sentence we've all heard. You know them niggas on your daddy side ain't shit, right? Any weapon that she can garner at her disposal, outside of logic, outside of reason, knowing. I know women who do this.
I got you. I think we ain't gonna do too much.
I'll say this and I'm done. You know, and this is the sisters that's watching this. If the man is to be the representation of God in the home, and you are between that man and his kids, and he trying to see them, who do you represent? If that's you, may gnats infest your, may flesh-eating gnats infest your fucking weave. If that's what you do.
Who wants to go next, man? Was it you? Go ahead, Black Neo. Go ahead.
Hey, look, Uncle Jeff.
Yes,
I don't know you, bro, but I like you. You should be a battle rapper, man, because you're dropping bars right now. Check this out, man. Check this out. One word, man.
No.
One word is leverage, bro. When you look at relationships between a man and a woman, the man always holds the leverage. I take care of you. I pay the bill. Without me, you're going to have to work on your own. Blase, blase. So now when a woman finally gets some type of leverage over you, that thing is called a baby. And I've seen it a lot of times. I just seen a guy asking to get his kid, and the first thing the mother said is, "Where my child support at?" Like, it's just it's just that
it's a cover
they're
charge.
not that smart, bro. They're not that smart where they could just get this big thing out. It's all about leverage, dog. That's all it is. They just have that one. They used to use their coochie, but now that you got them pregnant, they got the baby. So
Okay,
if you want to do this,
I have a
I
question.
hear what you're saying, but hold on, John. Okay, can anybody on this panel think of one reason why a man shouldn't be around his kid? Is that
Wait,
you?
I had
saying?
a
there are
question. I
100.
had a
You know
question
what I'm
for
saying?
him.
I mean, I know it's easy to beat the early stuff,
Rich,
but
I gave
I
you
thought I
three.
covered that
I
in the
gave you
beginning.
three. If he's abusive to the child, if
okay,
he neglects the child, and if he abandons the child.
okay.
There you
If he's
go.
abusive to the
I
mother
got
as
some I'd
well.
like to add too.
Yeah, there you go. If he's
A
abusive to the
nuisance
mother.
to go ahead, go ahead, scam. Then PH, you go after that.
Yeah, if he whines about everything that a woman do, the women are automatically monsters, all leverage, all that. He don't need to be around them kids because they're gonna make
Absolutely.
three. Because he's gonna make three more of them same kids, and then we ain't gonna have no. We're gonna have 58 panels full of a bunch of whining people in 20 years, which we're gonna have anyway.
Hey, Rich, let me answer the question.
Okay,
See why they keep
The
leaving.
scam is
My
he's
God.
obviously not being serious today. But let me
No, the
in,
danger is he might
Oh,
be.
go ahead, Trey. Go ahead, Trey. And then,
in my
then
opinion,
Man,
emotions
right.
compel moms to keep the fathers away. Let's just think about this logically, right? If you have a working relationship with the mother and the father would be able to have free time. Why would you want to have your child all the time? Women complain about not being able to do anything, not being able to go anywhere. Well, it's because you have your child. If you had a working relationship with the father, and you guys would be able to have a balanced attack, you would be able to have your free time. With my son, me and his mom played hot potato with that boy. And I almost felt bad for him at times because he's 13 now. But at the time when he was younger, we were playing hot potato. We were unloading him on each other. Look, it's your turn. It's your turn. It's your turn.
And he
It's
could
your
feel
turn.
that.
It's your turn because she wanted her free time and I wanted mine. So if you have an actual working relationship and you can keep the emotions out of it, you actually can live like she wound up meet another guy. They were close to getting married. They had a baby. She was living her life. Why? Because we had a functional relationship to where we were actually, working with each other to make sure that neither one of us was keeping the child away from each other.
The shit
Now, I
worked.
can't. Right. But that's for a woman who doesn't involve her emotions. Right. When these women got these emotions involved, they are not thinking logically. And the thought process is, I'm going to keep the child away from you as much as possible. But then you complain that you can't do that. You can't go nowhere because you got the kid. How about you work with the father and work out a schedule to where you can have some sort of lifestyle?
Yeah.
It's emotions.
Yeah, no, I
See,
hear you. So
Amari.
hold on. Let me tell you why I kind of try to pose the question a little differently, because I didn't want to go down into just the woman bashing session. I mean, that's easy, right? Because for the most part, women use the weapon because they have the kids most of the time. So that's the only reason why I kind of try to change it up, so we could talk a little bit about some of the reasons why they might do that. I don't know if you had anything to say, PH Steve, as a woman up here. You could.
She had a question.
Yeah, I
Go
do
ahead.
have a question for, I can't see his name. Gib? Is that it? The gentleman in the hat.
Yeah.
So
Black Neo.
Oh, okay, Black Neo. I'm sorry. You were saying, talking about, the women and how they, were able to use their pocketbooks as as leverage, but then when they have the baby, they're able to use the baby as leverage. And you said that they aren't very smart. But so then my question is, if the women aren't very
That's not what I
smart,
meant.
the women,
She's not responsible for what you mean. She's
Well,
responsible for what you say.
You right.
God, like I don't understand.
Let
Y'all,
him
I was
finish.
trying to help you, sis. Forgive me.
Let him
Shut up.
finish. Go ahead.
So if the women aren't very intelligent, somebody else said, lacking in logic, then how are they able to keep y'all from y'all's kids? It seems like your superior intellect and logic should be
Okay.
able to. I'm sorry, I didn't even finish the question. Should be able to lead you to a favorable outcome, for yourself, right?
That's
So
a
whether it's
sentence.
support system
It's not a
or
question.
whatever.
You asked the question. That's a sentence now.
But let her go, man.
That's the clarity.
Let her go, man.
She asked the man a question. He tried to answer.
Let me
I'm trying to answer.
ask a question. Hold
What's
on.
wrong with y'all?
PhD, I got a question.
Yes.
Do black men do anything right?
What? What?
I didn't say anything about anybody doing anything right or wrong. I asked the question. So, sir, yeah, that was my question.
Yeah, she's not
All
gonna
right,
answer that.
check it out. I didn't mean that you're not smart. What I mean is, in order, okay, what I'm saying is, women use a baby as leverage because you're horrible deal makers. You don't know how to make a deal. That's why I have to go with you when it's time to buy a car, because I know how to hold my leverage over the salesman. You don't know how to do that. They always beat y'all on that. So what I'm saying is, you have a horrible way of using a baby for leverage. That's what they doing. They dangling the baby. They know you want to see the baby. If you want to see the baby, I want you to do this. I want you to do that. That's what I mean by that. I don't mean that you're not smart, you can't get a job, or you can't read or nothing. I mean that you're not that good of a deal maker. That's what I mean.
They're horrible
Yeah.
negotiators.
Okay, so
Horrible there you go. There you go.
Wait, Justo, for a second. Let me. A truth table. You still there, or Ruthless? Do you have something to say on this topic?
Yeah, cool. Then I got a question for the victims, but go ahead.
Yeah, only woman. I mean, to me, if she keeps my child away from me, she has to hate me and that child. Because if she loves that child, I got to be the best one for him, other than her. So if she's going against that, that means she is the deepest, darkest, devilish type woman that I don't even want nothing to do with. I'm just saying, like, really, if I understand that we may not get along, we may not, like, we failed in our communications, whatever. Now we separating, but that kid, right? And I just heard Cynthia G talk about being a parent is the hardest thing in the world, right? But then you turn
Y'all
around.
watch a lot of Cynthia G. That's kind of weird.
That's too much.
It's weird.
I don't watch her at all, bro.
Let me finish.
Hold up, y'all. Okay. But what I'm saying is this, right? And once again, women want to blame us. But it's once again, like, we know, men all know that, yeah, it may be harder for a mother to raise a child by herself, of course. But it's harder for her to love her child, to give her child the best thing, to give him a chance to succeed, which is me. And if she can't do that, she don't love nothing.
That's just the point. Go ahead, Justin. You have something to say? What you say? I see victims. There you go.
Yeah, the question to the victims. These women are these horrible monsters, and they're horrible. They do all this stuff, and
terrible.
They ragdoll you in the court, and it's the white man's fault and everything.
It's the white man's fault.
Men are logical. Men are leaders, and men are logical thinkers and critical thinkers. Correct.
Yes.
Why in the hell would you stick your meat in one of them chicks if they are what you just said they are?
That's
raw,
easy.
and put out the damn kid.
That's easy.
Can you call yourself?
Any other victim want to take that?
No,
it's not worth the time. Can we just move on?
No, come on. Let's take this course. We're victims here.
Okay, let me reply to that. Let me reply to that. Okay, let me reply to that. The thing is this.
Peace and dip.
I know that I see victim is trolling. I know he just ran away.
What?
Okay. I see that he's trolling, right? But he made some point that require response. This is the deal, right? One thing is this: when you approach a woman, in the first 3 months, they always present the best of themselves. And most men that are not exposed to women, especially the guys that get girls pregnant, are usually between the age of 16 and 21. They're not exposed to understand that who they are getting impregnated is going to be a changed person as soon as that child arrives. You see what I'm saying? Okay. If you look at men between the age of 25 and above, they don't really get women pregnant that quick because they of life. The women older, the women younger don't. The men young
breaking up.
Problem. The men younger don't know those consequences because most of them are still living with their parents. Most of them are still being taken care of. That is why almost half of pregnancy in the US that are male impregnating women are usually younger men below the age of 21.
Facts.
But above
They
the
ain't
age of
even a man
25,
yet.
they're not even a man. Above the age of 25 can make critical decision based on their experience or understanding other people's experience. You see?
You got some data to prove that, because there's a lot of stupid ass men over 25.
No.
But under 25, you're definitely dumb as
Remember what
hell.
I said. Remember what I said. I said that the lowest number of impregnated women out of wedlock are lower in above the age of 25, which means there are still stupid men, right? But most are below the age of 21.
Okay. All right.
So there is always going to be stupid men all over. In fact, there are men 50 years old still getting girls pregnant because there are still men stupid at the age, above the age of 50.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So
Can I finally speak, or I still have to wait?
Go ahead, man. I asked you to speak. Go ahead,
I know
CP.
I was about to speak, but I can't speak when everybody.
Get him, Black Jesus.
Let me be real here, because what Akene said, what Uncle Joe said, it's totally obvious. Because for one, I'm not gonna mic my way with anybody. When women want to utilize kids as a tool, I will say it again. When women utilize their kid as a tool, she just proved to be not the right parent to raise that kid to begin with. Because I noticed this from experience, not by talking, because certainly you have people who like to troll, which means they spend more time on YouTube, not less time in real reality. There are too many women out here in this New York City who are not in the right mindset to be a parent, but instead they use their kid at a level to get more money. Because you have people on these social media, forget YouTube, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, about how to maximize your money, getting knocked about more than one dude. Let's make it make sense here. That is one of the main issues I have a problem with. But when you're doing that, you did prove a point. You're psychologically not well equipped to be a mother. You're not psychologically well equipped to be a parent, for the simple fact that you're disconnected from your heritage. I will say it again. You psychologically disconnected from to be a parent. You psychologically to be a mother, because from one, I don't think your ancestors or those before you were doing the same exact thing, unless they chose to say, Playmaster, I don't want the kid. Can you tell the kids for me, please? It's just how it's operated. Because when I hear that type of nonsense and women arguing like they have the right to do such thing, then you prove to me you're not a woman, you're just a vessel. And I'm being completely blunt. I'm not trying to do not. Everyone say this is a talking point. Then you gotta be stuck on stupid. Continue to drink chlorine while I'm talking. When a woman do such a thing, you don't treat that child like a child, man. You treat that child as a tool just to fit a need that you feel like at the most how you feel. And your emotion is not stable. Because no child should be treated as a tool, because guess what? That child will remember what you did to he or her. And might end up repeating that same cycle. And you're wondering why we have multiple generations doing the same exact thing over and over, because we have stuck on stupid who is still a child in a grown person body. Thinking that it's cool, that it's okay. There is consequences. Sometimes the consequences come in ways that you don't see it coming. It could be financial debt. It can be homelessness. It can be all type of sick disease that you didn't see come a long way, because since you don't care what you do, it could be God knows what. God could tell you, know what, you don't need to be here. Accident. There's a lot. There are consequences. It's just that you don't see it coming. Period. So let's stop this notion. I'm blunt the way I am because I don't do talking, but I like to speak in real life. But with any woman think it's okay to dibble and dabble and use their child as a commodity to draw income or money, whatever the creator want to do to you, you deserve 100-fold. Period. No mercy, no pity. Same go to the fathers. No child to be treated as an item or commodity for you to get some money out of them. When you do that, You are less than a human being. You're not 1/5 like the Constitution say. You're 1/10 of a human being. And I said it.
I
Yeah, but
got
see,
you.
I
Before you go on, let me get the likes up if you can. If you got some Cash Apps, why don't you hit the Cash App? Not Cash App, but Super Chat. Go ahead and do that. And before you go, let the EBD go on. He just got up here.
what up, EBD?
What's up? Salute to the panel. I was on the meeting, which is why I couldn't join, but I'm gonna keep it quick. You know how I do. Just from personal experience, right? Like, yes, I was married, right, with a child, things like that. I failed the marriage because of my running around and all that, right? But I didn't fail as a father, right? I wasn't leaving my daughter with a stranger. I wasn't leaving her unattended. It's just that I just wasn't in love with my girlfriend who became my wife, so that relationship didn't work. But how she perceives it is, well, if you don't love me, you don't love our child either. So I'm going to take that and use that, and now I have all the justification I need to leave you and take your child with me. And it doesn't, and then she has total control over the court system and who has primary custody, this child support, so on and so forth. So we have this unequal power dynamic that women are by default the primary caregivers of all children that they bring into the world, at least here on the western coast. I mean the West. The issue is the problem is they don't see what the biggest consequence of this is the fact that not only do they not have the protection and provision of their father, or love or unconditional love that the children receive from their father, but they think that their father doesn't care about them and that they're off somewhere. The woman leaves, takes the children, and then the kids grow up thinking, "Where's daddy? Daddy left," and that's not the case at all. So the woman's not gonna say, things didn't work out with me and your father. I left him and took you both with me. That's never the story that the children understand or grow up with. It's always a father was a this, was a that, and the other, and that's why we had to get out of there, this and that. So to Dusto's point, it ain't us who claim victimization. It's usually the women who claim to be victims. And it's in every courtroom. It doesn't matter how the story is told. It's the same. The man is bad. I'm the mother. I'm good by default. I can do no wrong by these children. It's the men that we need to keep at bay. It's the men we need to control with their loins, with their children. It's the men that need to pay. They need to pay for the failed relationship between me and him. So I mean that's just kind of where we are, and we're stuck in this nebulous place where laws need to change. And until laws change, the women's behavior won't change. They're being rewarded for breaking up a home rather than being incentivized to work it out as a family unit.
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead, Diva.
So you made the point, Black Dragon, that you may have been running around on your wife, but that didn't mean you were a bad father. And so I would offer a little bit of pushback, and I won't say a bad father, but it does impact your behavior and how you treat your wife, or that relationship is going to impact you as a father. So if you have this family unit and you're introducing instability or chaos into that primary relationship between you and your wife, that's naturally going to bleed over into other aspects of the family, right? So you may not be directly doing anything harmful to your child, but indirectly, because that relationship between you and your wife has become like I said, unstable or more volatile, then that still impacts the child. The other thing that I wanted to say is that you mentioned, women leaving and getting child support and, keeping the kids away from the father. But if that woman is able to get child support, is typically by one of two means. So either she and the father come to an agreement, or they go through some type of mediation and or court process. Either way, there should be no reason for the man not to have access to his child, right? So if you're coming to an informal agreement with the woman, then you can work out, okay, I'll pay this month and I see my child X amount,
That's
throughout
just
the month.
crazy to me.
I think
I'm sure
just
she
to,
did
just
not.
to,
She
just to
has
reply, just to reply real quick, 30 seconds, just to reply.
Wait, I
Yes,
didn't even finish.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let me wrap it up.
Oh,
And
go
then
ahead.
the other thing is, if you know going through the courts, like 50-50 custody is a thing, right? And so like it's the default almost. So I don't understand how
no, it
men are
isn't.
not getting their children. So go ahead. You can respond to that.
Now, I would say, so the first thing, 50-50, I think that's how it should be. I don't think that's how it is at all.
Not at all.
If it were default 50-50, we wouldn't be in the situation we in, especially in our community or any other community, right? Number two, I would say, yes, relationships fail all the time, but you don't need to use or take it out on children. And that's not what I did when I stepped out. My daughter was picked up from school every day. My daughter got all her meals. She got all her education from me. I just wasn't committed to my wife anymore because, whatever static we had, I wasn't getting whatever. But that's a narcissism thing. But that aside, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
But the point really is, even if you're correct,
Right.
I don't think it's realistic to say that wouldn't impact a woman's behavior between you and your kid.
Right.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I think that makes sense. But I don't know what you have, Uncle Jeff. I wanted Hank to come in here before you guys go because he's new here. It's just let him
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Hi, Hank.
Say what?
Oh, I was saying
Hello.
hi to Hank.
I mean, hello, PhD. Y'all just got to recognize PhD doesn't come in good faith for the black man. I just want to put that out there.
Big brother Hank. I know how you are.
Hey, clean the blood off your sword.
Y'all know he gonna bring that smoke, bro. Come on, man.
Oh man.
Don't leave out the restaurant yet.
You got anything, Hank, that you want to say?
She know I'm just messing with her. But yeah, seeing that whole thing about with Russell Simmons' daughter, man, she's an adult, man. She's not a child anymore. So if that man decided to cut off support, he has every right. I don't give a damn what she says. She could feel some type of way. She's a spoiled ass brat. She's been spoiled all her life. And so he decided he want to cut off. And again, he has that right. And who are we to say? Who are we to say why this man should cut off and she should go out there and put this video out and do all this and expose all that? Why? Because you mad because he cut you off? You're not entitled to anything anymore. He done put you through college. He done pay for all that. It ain't like you had to come out the pocket and get a goddamn student loan and then go and do work studies in order to stay up, 2 or 3 hours after class, in order to study for that test and everything. You didn't have the problems. You didn't have to go to a job and work in order to pay for school. You didn't have to do that. Your school's paid for by your parents. So, look at that as a blessing. That's a start. That's a debt you're not going to have when you graduate and get out of college and move off into the real world and do your own thing.
He did his job, man.
Of America.
My man.
So I don't understand why she even did this. So I can't sit there and defend this video. Now, the question you was other day is, why would a mother keep a child away from the father? Because she's a selfish heifer. She's selfish. So if that means she's going to find some way to get back at us, that's what she's doing. Child support and visitation is two separate cases.
Thank you.
Two situations. Even if I don't pay child support, I'm still entitled to see my child. Even if I'm deadbeat financially, I am still emotionally tied to that child and I'm able to see it. Now, could I end up going to jail? Yes, I could. Because I'm behind on my child support? Yes, I could. But at the same time, I'm entitled to see that child. Support and visitation is two separate things, bro.
I got you.
Ridiculous.
Right,
I have to say this real quick, guys. I have to say this.
PhD,
a man is never pissed off about his children. But one thing that drives a man is conditional. The condition that is placed on him to see his children is the problem, just like Hank said. To see a child should be unconditional. Child support or no child support, a man should never be denied the opportunity. In fact, it shouldn't be called an opportunity at all. Because why will it be called an opportunity? He's the one that made that baby. And this is one thing I got to I got to say something because a lot of men do this mistake. It's not just Simmons that does this mistake or has done this mistake. A lot of men here do that mistake. We pedestalize our daughters a lot. We start teaching our daughters entitlement from childhood. We start giving them things that we believe that they deserve. Oh, she's a girl. Give her this. She's a girl. We don't want another man to give her. And do you know what you do? You spoil that little girl. And she grows up. Another man has to fix the damage that you created. Now another man has to tell her, no, you can't get it. How can another man tell her she can't get it if her father gave her everything she wanted? Guess what is going to happen? She won't stay long in that relationship. She's going to go back to daddy. Because when a woman said that you're the best man or you're a nice man, that means she's getting a lot out of you. It also applies to fathers. When your daughter praise you and say you're the best father ever, that means you spoiled her. You got to be careful when your daughters praise you, because women don't gravitate towards somebody that don't give them something. It's either they are sexually attached to a man that they love a lot, or they are financially attached to a father that they love a lot. I got to tell you this, right, guys? We have to start teaching our daughters that life is hard, no matter how much we make in life. Because these guys send his daughters to university, Harvard and NYU, paid almost $100,000 a semester to take care of these brats. Not even a single
NYU is not cheap.
Not even a single Twitter. Daddy, thank you for putting us through college. Not even a single tweet for that.
Yeah, that is true.
What did they do? They came out, blamed their dad for not taking care of them, for cutting them off. I wish my dad paid my college. My college, first season, which is 4 good years of college, $85,000. Did my dad pay for it? No. But guess what? I gave my dad the greatest gift a child could give his father. I gave him a proven burial. I buried my dad, and I was happy that he brought me on this earth. My dad has never given me money since 2002. Since 2002, I've always given my dad money. But when he died earlier this year, I gave him a proven burial. My dad never paid for my college. I gave him a proven burial. And these idiots, these brat idiots, have the guts to tell their dad that he cut them off.
Oh no.
That tells you what damage that we men create. We create spoiled brat wives. We create spoiled brat daughters. When you use money to go get a girl that is 12 years younger than you and make her a wife, or 15 years younger than you, and show her that you got money, these are the consequences of your actions.
Yep. No, he
gotta
brought
live
out.
with it.
He Canada brought out the whole African on y'all. That's how Africans say idiot, by the way, and with emphasis too. When you talking to your own children and you want to let them know they screwed up, you gotta hold it. You idiots! Like they even what was that? Ren and Stimpy. They even took that. They took that from Africans. But
I do the same thing with my kid.
That's abusive.
Yes. Let me be real.
I'm sorry,
Let me be real.
PhD,
Hold on. Let me be real.
The fact that the fact that these people that do that to their children create doctors and surgeons and all of that, it's debatable. So what you call
abuse, can be a doctor and a surgeon without having your parents have called.
Well, obviously not. Obviously not, because that's not what
my
happened.
mom didn't call. No, none of my parents called me an idiot.
You know what? This is actually a good conversation because it's actually very damaging when you do that. I'm not talking about abusing kids. I'm not talking about anything, but even my wife does this because you are the one woman that made it out of 99. You say that it's possible. It's not likely. It's not likely. Your situation is not likely. My wife's situation is not likely. For every PhD, but there's 99 Keishas in the hood that don't have it like you. So
Yeah, and
stop
their
making
moms
that point.
probably called them idiots.
It's not,
growing
and
up.
it's not even just black. It's not even just black people. It's white people too. These two groups are not making enough scholars. They're not making enough, basically good citizens to uphold the traditions of this country anymore. Like the two base ethnic groups of this country are going to need to be switched out to uphold the values and the principles of the United States of America. Because we can't get it done here no more. The people that was born here, we can't get it done no more. Our people are doing shit like this. Basically, this is what we are. We're spoiled children who have been too comfortable throughout the entirety of our lives. That's what you saw in the first video that I showed.
Mm-hmm.
These children are now too comfortable. This is why extreme wealth, and I mean hundreds of millions of dollars, only lasts 2 to 3 generations.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are going to live good. You're going to give your children money. They didn't work for none of that shit. They're going to blow it, and then the next generation or the one after them is going to be broke. So.
And you said to try and justify calling kids idiots.
Yes.
Hold on.
Because you can't prove abuse if all of that led to the most educated group of immigrants in the United States of America. You can't.
Absolutely. Y'all aren't the most educated group of immigrants.
We are.
Indian Americans are. No, Indian Americans
are.
Are you kidding me? Ain't no per capita.
Hold on.
Indian Americans are.
70%
of Indian Americans have degrees.
I'm going to provide you the source. Just stay tuned.
Provide it.
I'm going to provide you the source.
I don't know why she's even going to argue this. It's all over the whole internet.
So you think y'all have more degrees than Indian Americans?
Far more by percentage. By percentage we have far more than that. Go ahead.
70% of them have degrees.
PA Diva. Unless you want to rewrite history and rewrite facts. If I recall on national TV, the Trump whisperer, what his name is? Oh yeah, Van Jones. When the idiot came out of his mouth and said he went nowhere from Haiti and no shithole country. Did he not put out a CDT record saying that of all the ethnic groups in this country, that Nigerian is the most educated ethnic group? Are you going to tell the CDC this lie?
What?
Are you going to say that right now? Because all you do is not only put in the record, you put out the video. Because
I'm pulling it up now, so we're going to see.
Please do it. And I hope you don't get a pie in the face.
Okay. And I hope the same for you, sir.
Because I'm from Brooklyn and I'm brutal with the truth, and I don't care about anybody's emotion.
All right.
That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
We Brooklynites like to roast people to the point they want to jump off the bridge, and we pay you a cap to pick what off the bridge you want to jump off.
Sir, you
Brooklyn
can roast as much as you want. I probably wouldn't even understand what you say, so feel free to roast.
You don't have to understand me, but you can understand the facts. You don't have to understand me, but you can understand the facts.
Wonderful.
You can't rewrite the facts based on emotion.
PhD, did you find the fact yet online? Because there is a computer next to you. You can Google that. You can Google it right away.
Ikane.
We're flooding the back.
You said your father never gave you money from 2002. How old were you?
So are you trying to doubt my honesty to see if I'm lying or not? When I said that my dad has never. No, you can deduce my age.
As if you were super young.
You're trying to do comparative suffering.
I was super young. Yes, I was in America, and guess what?
She's trying to do comparative
suffering. You see, when you raised by your parents, this is one thing I understand when I first came here. This is what I got to say. When I came to this country new, right, I see kids like PhD that live with their parents and they went through college and graduated and did masters and did PhD. They think that people like us that came here around 2000, 2002 without those kind of assistants don't exist. They think we don't exist because that's not their experience. You see, your experience mustn't be my experience, okay? So when I tell you that since 2002, my dad has never given me money. In fact, I was the one giving him money since 2002. And you want to doubt that? You can doubt that because it's not. No. You're asking me how old am I because you doubted because it was not your experience. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say to you is this, Mom. What I'm going to tell you is this, right? Not everybody that had this luxury that you had. Not everybody that have that luxury, okay?
Mike, can I
Just
put
understand that.
this down?
Let's get
So
back
you're
on
not gonna
point.
tell me how
Get back
you're
on
Because
gonna tell
point.
me how old you were?
for that girl to come out and bombast her dad.
All right.
That's
Am I
that's what I'm
wasting?
seeing right now.
Let me
Am I
do this. Let
wasting
me
my
do this.
time with
Privilege,
this?
privileged
Hold on. Let me
girl.
do this. Let me do this. Let me do this.
All
Let me do
right.
this. Let me do this because I'm about tired of all of this divisiveness between Africans and African Americans. I'm about tired of this shit. And I kept trolling for months. I kept trolling Tariq Nasheed because I wanted to like verbally punch him in the face and then meet him and actually punch him in the face. Let me finish my thought. It's my show.
Where I can arrange that. He's a buddy of
Hold
mine.
on. Then I realized something. This dude I know exactly what he's doing. He is afraid. And in fact, what he's doing is actually natural. He loves black people so much, and I think he does, that he is now realizing that he's possibly going to be replaced. That is a feeling that will give him the knee-jerk reaction that he's actually doing because he's a former Pan-Africanist, if you know. So now the person, he's doing exactly to Africans what low-class white people did to black Americans. If you feel like you are the lowest of the low in your group, you will jump at the chance for somebody else to hate on. So that's what he's doing. He feels like not enough, maybe black men and black women are doing enough to uphold the good standards that the black community used to have. And he feels like the people who are dark, the Africans that are coming in this country, are slowly replacing the Americans and being known because you know it. I told you, white people will come up to me and say shit like, "Oh, damn, you Nigerians are killing it. Oh, God, you about to score the highest on the test." That shit scares him. He wants black people, and I want black people in general to be known like that in the United States of America. So I no longer even want to debate his ass. So PhD, I see exactly what you're doing. You're doing the same shit he's doing. Every time he calls a Nigerian an Uber driver, all I see is a humble worker who's eventually going to end up like me. My dad was a cab driver. He's touched millions of dollars in this country. Can't tell him shit. Right? So, you know, if you this African versus African American, this shit is bogus as fuck. Literally, the one group of people that you can come to and be like, reteach us the standard. The one example you have that is dark, not even just, they're unmistakably black. The one example you got that's living in this country that can be like, let's all be the standard bearer for black people in this country. You are literally upholding the standards for education. You are literally upholding the standards for marriage and the way families should be raised. How about we celebrate these people? But now y'all want to talk down to us. That's all bullshit. It's bullshit. You may talk.
I have a contractor here, so I'm gonna make it quick. But that's absolutely not what I was doing. I was asking him that
I don't
because
know.
I wanted to see.
Maybe it means something different here. I don't know.
I was asking him that because I wanted to see how old he was. Because it's one thing to say I was 16 and was giving my dad money, or I was 36 and was giving my dad money. So
Okay,
that's
let
what
me
I was
help you
actually
out.
trying to figure out.
I was 22 years old. I was born
Okay, that's all I
1979.
was
I was
asking. Y'all
22.
are very
Does that make you feel good?
defensive over nothing. So you projected all that other stuff out of your own head, Trigger Mike.
Because that meant nothing.
Uncle Geoff, Uncle Geoff, I know you've been there waiting. Go and get your 2 cents in.
Hannah, I think the core issue here that we are having with sisters, which is happening in my opinion today, is that we do not dismiss the presence of, or the impact of, or the damage of horrible niggas. I don't know one man I respect that has one in his circle. The women you are not talking about, the classy, educated sisters that you are not talking about, love circling the wagons around the ones you are. They will circle the wagons around the horribles, and you ain't even talking about them. As if last night, all of us said, okay, we finna trash sisters tomorrow on 3. Ready? Break. That is for us all to have this similar story where the frustration comes is that most, not all, but most sisters will not do the following. I will give you horrible, violent niggas that ain't shit. I will give you brothers that just straight up walked away from their families. I will give you brothers that destroyed their families with infidelity. Can you give me back, maybe, just maybe, a horrible broad that ran a good man off? Do they even exist? Do
Nope, they don't
bitches
exist.
exist? Do bitches, this is, when we say bitches, what we mean is that we don't want to say evil, sniping, cantankerous, vile, vindictive gutter snipe every time we mean it. Bitch is just a shortcut.
But
For
then
some
they gonna
people,
tell you hate your mama.
exactly, who exists. And you know what? You might be right. Maybe my mama was. What does that have to do with this? What this has to do with is that, and what is contributing to the major parish. Bro, we're gonna have to write some of these women off, or these people off. We really, I wish Trey was here. This is what we really need to be doing. Trey has a teenager. We need to be trying to help him as opposed to snipping at each other. But what, and I'll say this, I'll shut up. This is what sisters don't seem to get.
Yeah, but
all of the horrible shit, for all of the horrible reasons, but yes, with all of the brothers that you don't like, for all of the very valid reasons you have for not liking them, here's your problem. You outnumber us by 2 million. There are 2 million more of you. So this man-woman problem isn't ours. It's yours. This is your issue. Every time that you give a brother a black eye, you don't hurt us. You hurt you, because the earth isn't lining up to fuck you. The white man know right where you at because he put you there. The earth is lining up to fuck us. There is no, has anybody here heard of the great American black woman shortage? Me neither. So when I run across sisters who are constantly derogatory, who have nothing but, oh yeah, what about, when we discuss the issues that we have, they do us all a great favor. They let us disqualify them, push them out the way, because there's too many of them anyway. So please identify yourselves with this negative, oh yeah, what about, deflection from points. Please identify that. Please, after this show, brothers watching this show, look for the women who co-sign this foolishness in the chat, because those are the women in your area that you are to avoid. There is no shortage of them.
I hear you, brother. Hey, black man.
Hey, in other words, in other words, Ron, he's saying shout out to all these goddamn tech kids out here.
Okay, that's the good cliff notes, Hank.
Black man, you got something?
Yeah, man. Yeah, listen, man. I've been trying to get in on this conversation, but I was working. I done threw something and broke my computer a couple times.
Black man. I just sent you the link right now. Okay.
Shit, you got to rage.
Sorry about it. I just sent you.
Yeah.
Jeff done made a rage quit. Hold up, BMU. We got Jeff done silence and then a rage quit from BH Diva. You a legend. You a legend in the street.
Man,
you was already a legend, but you.
I got a Chicago high school publication from the '80s and Mythbusters, and I ran a PhD out of here. Somebody owe her some money.
Oh damn!
She did say she had to go.
I was gonna say to be fair.
Whenever she gets back, I'll still be here with this pimp shit.
She said
when she finished what she was saying, she said she had to go.
Okay.
Hey, Uncle Jeff, before you start signing autographs and start selling out arenas. Can you please put your email in the back chat? Black David, get that for me, because I need to have you come represent for me a couple of times. But I want to talk about the situation. I think that this is a little spoiled, and I'm gonna keep it real and unfiltered. I think it's a little spoiled ass little girl that need our ass whooped. Because your whole life you've been living off of your daddy. And then soon as the well run dry because he took the plug out of the sink, now dad is a problem. Now dad is abusive. But if dad was abusive at 13, 15, 17, 18, 19, why wait till you're in your mid-20s to get online and blast your daddy?
Woo.
Now, I guarantee you he can pay. I guarantee you right now, if he sent out $1.3 million and say, babe, I'm sorry. I should have sent you more money. You won't hear from her again. It's all about the money. And then his wife, his ex-wife, Kimora, back in the day, she was all right. She was cute. She was a model. But now she looks like a Baptist first lady that got caught in an Asian transition.
Yeah.
And so now she's not who she used to be. And now I'm out of the news. Ain't nobody buying baby fat no more. Let me go viral with my daughter to get some attention on myself. And so and this is where we are. These are spoiled, entitled ass kids that ain't never had to do nothing, ain't never had to take out trash, she ain't never had to do nothing but say daddy, mommy. And now when daddy says you grown, you on your own. Oh, like earlier, Scam said the men created these monsters. I agree. We did, because he should have made their ass work for every goddamn dime they got. He should have made her. Yeah, he should have made her. He should have made her work for every goddamn dime she got. Every pair of pants, every shirt, every trip, every private jet. He should have made her work. He should have made her work for it.
My God.
Because he did create a monster. He created an entitled little bastard that wants to run around and get online and blast the man who gave her the lifestyle, who gave her the platform. You went viral because of who your daddy is.
Come on. How many times did you take advantage of Simmons?
Right, right, absolutely. How many jobs, how many modeling gigs have you got because your last name is Simmons?
Nigga.
You got
how many times did you pass go and get 400 because your name is Simmons?
Yeah, Simmons. Let's even go even up a little bit. How many jobs has that mama got because she was a Simmons? See, let's stop. So we got everything that they have came from the Simmons. The beginner, the Def Jam guy, the Def Comedy Jam guy, the guy that had all these fruitful ideas that put money in his pocket, and he passed it to his wife and passed it to his daughters. These kids are entitled, and without your father, you will probably be working at Kroger's on register 4, asking people, do they have a discount card? Get the fuck out of here. I'll land my plane there.
Boy, I mean, and look, for every bad success story, or I'm sorry, not success story, because I want to use Michael Jordan, but his son fucking up right now. How you date your old uncle? God damn, he fucking up. She didn't want to talk about that.
Nigga. He didn't land a plane. He let a truck.
She didn't respond to that when I put it in the back chat either. I said, how do you feel about a woman that used to date? I'm sorry, dating basically her uncle's
basically dating her nephew
that used to babysit him. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Talking about grooming.
Because she gonna have to circle the wagons. She ain't gonna they circle the wagons around.
Lars is trash.
Hey, CBN. Hey, that's your name, CBN?
Yeah, there's CBN.
You said something earlier about the women don't see the consequences. Bro, the consequences are here. They don't give a fuck about them consequences, bro.
I know. When I say they don't see it, they don't want to recognize it. It's like, why you say blind people like to lead blind people? Yeah. So why would I look at a bunch of blind baboons?
Right.
Idiot.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like it. What the consequences are here, bro. Like them, the niggas breaking in my cars. They the reason I don't even go out no more. You know what I'm saying? Those are their kids.
But Neil, let me tell you what the world is, because this is why, this is so bad, because everything that's going on, we gotta, if you are a religious person, just consider it sin. And no sin, like, it's gonna go unpunished. And the same way women are out here breaking up their families, having children out of wedlock on purpose, isolating the father out of the child's life, they are going to deal with the consequences of that shit tenfold. Because remember, men can take care of themselves. And not only that, kids and these little robbers and these bandits, as they call them, they know that. So they're not approaching men. They're gonna, when they want to terrorize something, when there's no more welfare to be given out, when we reach the debt ceiling and they cancel all entitlements and all that shit, they're gonna have to defend themselves against these little niggas they created.
Y'all better hope
And you
that
know,
internet apocalypse
and you
don't
know
happen,
what?
boy.
And you
You
know
know,
what? I think, and
you
you
know,
know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I think there's a disconnect. Let me explain the disconnect. I know this ain't gonna be popular, but I don't give a fuck. Let me tell you what the disconnect is. The disconnect is, think about this. The other day I was on a panel. I heard a young man say, he gave some statistics. He said, "Hey guys, don't y'all know in marriages today between black women and black men that a statistic shows that 34% of those marriages there was infidelity by a woman?" And he said, "So don't you think out of those infidelities, the reason some of those daddies are not in their life because they don't know who their daddy is?"
Whoopsie.
See, we don't talk about the real shit. If your wife out cheating and she getting raw dogged, I just saw a video this morning of two simps. These niggas need to be simp university.
I
There was
seen
two
that.
dudes sitting in a delivery room, and they're trying to decide who was the baby daddy. But we
Oh
ain't gonna
my
talk about that.
God, man.
Imagine being married to a woman and she cheats on you and she tells you and you stay. And imagine the fact that you're so dumb that you don't pay attention to the fact that me and this nigga ain't got no connection. He breaking in cars, he's stealing, he doing this here because he ain't taking on the characteristics of you. He probably taking on the characteristics of his real daddy. And how's the real daddy at fault when the mama ain't told him that he got a baby? See, I'm gonna land my plane. I'm gonna land my plane
I
right
want to
there. I'm gonna
address
land my
something because women say this all the time. Men will leave their wife for a 304. Ma'am, men don't leave their wives.
At
So
all.
I love to use modern statistics because women say this shit in the chat. Men will leave their wife for a 304. Men don't leave their wives.
No,
And when they do,
that person
I
is
gotta push
rejecting.
that
That
back.
person,
People
all that
go
person
through
is saying
staying with
is that they got
bro.
left for a better woman. When they
How
say
about
that,
that, Trey?
that means that the man,
Come
the
on,
man that
Trey.
they were
that
with, the man that
means
they
she
were
got
with,
left.
yeah, she got left. The man that she was with, he left her for a better woman. You weren't good
Oh,
enough.
got your ass.
You weren't up to par, and so he left you. You know what I find funny? I think you women think that we're not capable of leaving you too. I have walked away from women because guess what? You weren't up to par, sweetheart. You're not getting the job done. You're not
Well,
cutting
you
the
shouldn't have
mustard.
spliced jeans.
And you know,
I tell you what, man,
you're not cutting the mustard, sweetheart. So
Now
it's time to move on.
I think there's something we throwing around a little bit, fellas. I think we throwing it and just a tiny bit of pushback. I don't believe anyone ever leaves anyone for anyone but themselves. I didn't leave you for another woman. I left you because of the shit between me and you. If this woman was if you were what I thought, and I could be ignorant, I could be wrong for it, because a lot of niggas done left in chasing a woman because of what they were missing, and it was the wrong woman to go after. So I can't say that we don't leave our wives. I can say that when we do leave, it's for our decisions, and that might be right or wrong, but it's not fair to say that we don't leave our wives.
Well, collectively, what I'm saying is that the data doesn't support it. So men don't file for divorce nowhere near the rate that women do.
Oh, hell no.
And then there was one survey that said when men do divorce, like actually go file papers for divorce, the two greatest reasons are because the woman is not physically present and or she's incarcerated. So meaning she left and they're physically filing for divorce because they want to get married again, or the woman is incarcerated. I'm sorry. Incarcerated, or the woman is on the three biggest, and the woman is on a substance and her drug habit is going to harm the children.
Okay, can I be anecdotal?
Now, real quick, Uncle Jeff, real quick. I'm in corporate America. I can at any time say, you know what, I'm gonna give me some lunch today. And on my way to my car, I see a whole bunch of married women with their hairs and ponytails, got a mouthful of dick. And then when work is over, they're carpooling with their husbands, and the husband get out the car showing chivalry, and the wife kisses him in the mouth and say, "Hey, baby, how was your day?"
With the same
hey, listen, I'm gonna
with the same.
Because we live fairly close to one
That's
another.
nasty.
If you ever seen a woman, I'm gonna send you a picture doing that. You hit me on IG.
You stupid, Mike.
If you see me get out the car, listen, before she kisses me, I want you to slap her in the back of the head.
Y'all better say something. Y'all better
don't
say
even
something.
let
Somebody
that
better
happen,
tell me.
bro.
Hey, Trey, I'm gonna tell you, brother.
I'm
I'm gonna say, Trey.
Let me share something with y'all real
She had a
quick,
dick
man.
in her mouth, Trey. She had a dick in her mouth, Trey. Stop.
Yes,
Don't
do
don't
get
have me
my
out there.
attention.
Don't have me out there
Throw your
looking.
shoe at
Don't
me
have
or
me out there
something.
looking stupid. I'm opening the car door for her.
Right.
Don't have me looking stupid. Tell me.
Right. Throw up the scent flare. Shoot
Check
a
this out,
scent
man.
flare.
Something. Tell me.
I just think
Early
during a
on in my
marriage, I think
marriage,
no matter what problems you go through a marriage, men are willing to stick it out for the long haul because we understand what a long-term commitment is and what it looks like. Even if we don't, even if I didn't grow up with my mom and my dad being married, but I knew what a long-term commitment in a marriage looked like because my dad remarried, and that's still going on right now, past 30 years. My mom never remarried, but she dated, so I understand at least what it looks like, and I'm willing to put forth the effort to make the marriage last.
But EBD,
Guys,
that is the nature of men. Literally, none of these women have ever answered the question. As long as I've been doing panels, I say, "What do you think is going to happen when you're 50?" They don't think that long.
They don't
So
think
when
that far ahead.
listen, I have watched not only my father, my uncles, everybody go through the motions of marriage. I never once in my life thought this would be happiness every day. Never once in my life. But
Look
I
at it this way.
understand.
Gas station.
Exactly.
Look at
And
it.
then even if you have a momentary like damn, this is really getting on my nerves. We will always think about it in factors. How is this gonna not how it's gonna affect me? We think about us last. How is this gonna affect the children? I guarantee you most men won't get past that. They'll be like, nope. It's gonna
Let me
affect the
put it.
children, can't do it. But I'm gonna let DMT there. Y'all keep cooking.
Yeah, let me put it this way, right? Let me put it this way for you guys. If you look at marriage, men usually look for marriage for peace. That's why men leave women for another woman because the woman they tend to stay with gives them more peace. I married my wife because she gave me more peace than the girls I've dated before her. You see what I'm saying? And we've been together for almost 14 years now because of the peace that came with her. I left other girls because they were giving me stress. So when a woman says that men leave them for 3 or 4, no, she wasn't a 3 or 4 because every woman calls every woman hoe, right? Every woman calls every woman 3 or 4. That's what they do. So she wasn't a 3 or 4. She was a peaceful woman. So he left you a catastrophe for a peaceful woman. So she didn't want to deal with a catastrophe anymore. So she left a catastrophe for a peaceful soul. EDB, your dad left your mom for a 34 years marriage. That is the reason why he left, for a 34 years marriage. All of us that have experienced that, I'm not going to stay with a woman that gives me problem all the time. If I know that the next one is going to give me peace, who the hell wants to die young?
Can I
Can I,
co-sign
can I
that?
translate? No, can I translate that? What can I saying? She left a stage 5 hurricane for tranquility.
That's right. That's what he did.
A category 5 earthquake.
Yeah.
On Paradise Island.
Yeah, because if you look at it, that's true. Because if you look at it this way, right, the reason why men die young, in some cases, is because the women kill them young. Men that live very long always have peaceful wives. Look at George Bush Sr. George Bush Sr. lived until his wife died because the woman gave him peace, gave him children and peace. Queen Elizabeth, even as monstrous she was to Africa, she gave her husband peace. He lived until he was 99 years old. Usually when you see people that live a long life, that live peaceful life, that have a peaceful wife, they usually will die months after their wife dies.
Econate, you're right. Econate, real quick. George Washington Sr.'s wife was like the goddamn Quaker Oats man, but she gave him peace.
How about that?
He got that oatmeal.
Can I co-sign that real quick? Not only that, but if you notice, usually when men choose another woman after a horrible one, they upgrade because they learn from their mistakes. Do you know why women usually don't upgrade? Because in order to upgrade from your mistakes, you have to look you in the mirror.
Yep.
You can't, if you don't learn, the universe will put you right through that same course in different flesh. This is why generally women go from horrible nigga to horribler nigga, because you refuse to learn from you. This is why the dude's shit look better. This is why the shit becomes harmonious, because he goes, you know what? I did that last time, and that was my fault. So I'm going to look for these different things in this next mate. Her, that nigga wasn't shit.
Uncle
Nothing
Green.
about her.
Uncle Green.
Uncle
Hold on.
Jeff,
Uncle
Uncle
Green.
Jeff, and then
Whoa. Hey, they like,
hang
hold
on,
on, Black Dave.
hang on.
Yeah, go ahead, Trey.
Hang
Go
on.
ahead, Trey.
And then they get upset because he upgraded, so now she keeps the kid away from him because he's moved on.
Oh
with his
yeah,
life,
bro.
and he's got a better woman.
Hey.
He's bought a
He's
house
happy.
for her. He's
Hold
happy.
on, Trey.
He's got
Hold on.
peace. And so
Hold
He
on.
don't want you back. She just don't want you happy.
Yep.
Women think we're stupid, bro. They think we're stupid. Even if you don't have this situation, like I'm not in the situation, I can understand a timeline. I understand you have so many men, especially black men, that go through this, and you can see the change in the woman's attitude being aligned with every advancement in his life. He get a better job, now he happy. He driving a new car, she got a problem. He get a new girl, they look happy. She's stroking his head at the baby's birthday party. Oh boy, she really got a problem.
She got to look at herself.
No, we can literally, like, you see this happen enough to where the second he actually becomes fulfilled in life, that woman has a problem with it. They have this demonic spirit in them that even though they decided to leave a man, they decided to break up the family, it's like they never want him to be happy again.
And Trigger Mike. Hold on, let me say this real quick. Trigger Mike. And you know what that defines as? They're vampires. Let me tell you why. Because a vampire, if you look at the folk history of a vampire cannot see the reflection of himself. So he can't see how much damage he's causing because he can't see himself. And he only comes out at night to spread that shit. And he only comes out at night to feed. They're vampires.
Black man, hold on. I thought they were gargoyles.
No, they're vampires. Vampires cannot see a reflection.
Yeah, y'all remember that?
But guess what? When they go to that birthday party and they see that new woman with that silver stake, it go right through their fucking heart.
Ooh!
Y'all sound scorned up here, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Without trying to translate what you were saying, you telling me she leave a boxer who will give her a headache, or an MMA fighter who will give her some nut on her forehead.
No, okay, here, Mike, creator, don't give these words any power. Should your relationship with your wife fail, are you going to wind up making a commitment with a woman on her level or beneath her level? Your next woman.
First of all, I'm who I am in real life, and I'm Trigger Mike of the Lapeef Network. Oh, I'm upgrading.
Hey.
I'm upgrading.
Yeah, your brother.
Talk
black
your shit,
women,
King.
if you don't hear shit else,
I'm upgrading.
If you don't hear shit else,
hold on, Uncle. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
How long you been married, Trigger Mike?
Here's the crazy part about it. Whenever people be like, "Oh, but your wife can leave you," and this, remember, men value go up as they age.
How about that?
So if God, I do not want to break up my family. This institution is what's going to keep my children. Their identity comes from me. Being in closest proximity to them is what's best for them. But if my wife decides to fight me on this and break up with me, and leave me out here with my own house with nothing but time on my hands during the day, don't threaten me with a good time, okay? Because I'm here doing the work because I have to, because I'm dedicated to do it. But when a woman keeps saying, "Oh, you'll never find another me," don't threaten me with a good time.
I'm not looking for another you.
Woo!
That's good news.
And you know what, Uncle Jeff? Since we're taking this time, how long you been married, Trigger Mike?
5 years this September.
5 years. I've been married for 14. I don't know anybody else on the panel that's been married. But let's take our time because people in the chat, people in the world that's watching right now. Oh yeah, come on. People in the chat right now, people that's watching may say, "Man, these dudes right here." I just heard somebody say, "Man, we sound like we." Damn, no.
Yeah, y'all sound scared, man. I ain't gonna lie. But you guys do. Everybody is sounding a little.
No, it's a difference. But you know what, R-Pain? You know I love you, but it's a difference between being scorned and being knowledgeable about the world around you. And this is what men are facing today. And leaders have to do it. Leaders at your job, at my corporate job, I have to sit down in people's face and tell them, hey, listen, in my one-on-one, say, listen, you're not doing your job. You're out of line. This is what you need to do better. As leaders, we have to stand tall and say what it is. We got to stop sugarcoating these motherfuckers.
No, I just
Just
DMU,
own it. Just
DMU,
own
DMU,
scorn.
DMU. I agree
DMT. I
with
am
what you're
scorned.
saying, but
I am
we
scorned,
gotta
DMT. I'll be
You
honest
said
with you.
what?
I
We
am
need to
scorned.
own scorn.
I am. I've been burned.
I'm 26.
Yes.
Y'all making me scared to get married.
Own
Like, is it worth
scorn.
it?
Nah,
I'm
DMT.
gonna own scorn. Here's my
DMT,
question.
I've been burned by the fire when dealing with a woman. I've been dragged in and out of court. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on lawyers. I am scorned, and I can guarantee you, I will never date that woman that I had before. I'll
Come on,
never
bro.
make that mistake again.
We're really
ever.
wasting time here, gentlemen. We are wasting time here if we do not focus at least some of this energy on Trey's situation, because Trey has a teenage boy.
Yeah.
That I don't give a fuck, Trey. I don't know your situation. I don't know what's going on, but I will say this. The most educated, articulate, handsome, wonderful, grounded man that your woman gets next will pale in comparison to having that boy with you.
Yeah.
Because that ain't you. He does not see this new man and see himself. He sees you. So I think what we need to do, honestly, what we need to do is, and again, if we don't want to do it here, I left my shit in the email, bro. Trey, holla at me, man, because there's some shit you can do, bro. I'm not talking about what I don't know. I done spent $125,000 cash on lawyers. I done lost 3 pieces of property and 6 cars. And I'm telling you that unfortunately the court system is set up this way. For women, here's what you have to do in court. We have this this little riddle for you. Tic tac. What's the next word? Toe. All right, gentlemen, here's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to figure out how to taxi, take off, fly, and land the space shuttle, and it leaves Cape Canaveral in 20 minutes. Go. Your shit is a hell of a lot more to do when you go to court than what we have to do. And I think those of us who have experience in this, those of us who have dealt with this, and again, if I'm scorned, what does that have to do with whether I'm right or wrong? Those of us who have been through this, that have something to pour on this brother, in the interest of the 6 years that his son has before he can go off to war without his will, we need to focus on that, brothers. All this other shit is other shit. We already know that it's horrible sisters. We already know that.
The 13-year-old, we're good. We're fine. Remember, I told you that's the one I played. We play hot potato. We're good. We don't have any issues.
So let's get to the next question. We're gonna start with DMT since he just got here. Because that actually feeds into what Uncle Jeff was saying. What adjustments need to be made in the family court laws for fathers to be more involved with their children? Go ahead, DMT.
I'm young, so I don't know how much of a real perspective I can give. What I can,
you've seen enough. You've seen
I've
enough.
seen enough. I've seen enough. Trust me, I've seen enough. So what I'll say is, I think it starts with the judges, in my opinion. I think the judges have to stop leaning on past cases, which side with the woman predominantly. You know, they automatically want to lean into, okay, I think, well, let's start off with the woman getting primary custody here. You know, I don't think that should be a thing. I think they should be evaluated specifically outside of gender. I think gender should be taken out of it. I think the person, the parent themselves, should be evaluated based on who's best fit to take on this child full time, whether that's based on the work schedule, based on the income, based on who's in the home, how long you've been living at your residence, you know, where's your residence, what school district you're in. I think all of that should be taken into consideration first. And then you kind of get to the other things. I was going to ask y'all, is like, can you put child custody things in like a prenup?
Like,
No, you
it's
can't.
No,
No, you can't.
no.
no.
I think that should be allowed.
Different
You
court
can-
system.
If you can afford a prenup, you can afford a hitman.
God damn.
What was it? What was the rest of your? What was the rest of your thing, DMT?
No, I was just gonna say I think we should start there, and then I think during this
DMT,
process
you gotta
there
know
should
that
be mandatory paternity, right? Off rip, even if you know it's your son, even if you know it's your son or your daughter, there should be a mandatory paternity test taken before y'all even get to court. That should be put into evidence, right? I think that's one thing. Because I know many of my uncles. Some of my, because my brother's 41, he basically raised me. A lot of his friends have gone through situations where they don't find out this kid not there, so they get to after child support court, and they get a little bug in their ear, a little birdie say, "Oh, I heard that ain't even your kid." What? Take the test. It's not their kid, and this kid already 16 years old, so they didn't pay 16 years worth of child support for a kid that's not theirs. Right?
DMT, real quick. Who pays for the test?
You said what?
Who pays for the test?
That's a good question.
The man is $99.
Right. Well, I understand it, but then that leaves the question: is it a choice or is it mandatory?
Mandatory.
Because if you leave it up to choice, men are not going to do it.
It needs to be mandatory.
It should be mandatory.
So how do you govern and make a man spend $100 if he doesn't want to?
The same way you make him pay taxes.
Goddamn right.
Wait a minute, because all of this health insurance based. Health insurance could cover that.
Hold on. The insurance companies are not going to want to do it. They're not going to want to forego that money. So with taxes, if you don't pay your taxes, you go to jail. So if he doesn't want to pay this, $100 for the mandatory test, do you put him in jail?
Yes.
Whoa. Hey, Trey, hold on. I got a question. Trey, so you mean tell me insurances are paying for sex changes but can't pay to get to tell a man if a child?
I never said it had to make sense, black man. I'm just telling you, insurance companies are not going to want to willingly. They're going to say, "Oh, we're going to pay for a paternity test." They're not signing up for that. You know that, and I know that.
I know that's what I was saying, but I'm saying look at the bias. I was trying to get y'all to see the bias in that.
We
it's
know
okay
there's
to spend
bias in healthcare, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Knows that.
So when we come to healthcare or anything, we're talking about the law, and the law can change with just a bill being passed. So how we deliver healthcare is determined by legislative agendas. So if we have enough of if all men are going through this issue of false paternity, paying child support, paying it through the state, not finding out that it's actually theirs until post child support payment, then laws need to change, right? So what DMT was saying which is what I was saying anyway, was that when the laws change and paternity is established during either pregnancy or post childbirth, then we know 100% whose DNA is coming into the world, right? And therefore, it is the man's actual gene, like life. It's biological property that's actually going into the woman that's being held for 9 months and then comes into the world. So by default, it is our property. It is our actual gene that we're injecting into a woman to her give birth to our child, not anybody else's. And that paternity test kind of puts an official certification of ownership of this child to the man, right? Number one, that makes him responsible for the child. Number one, it makes him culpable and make sure that the provision that the father has to provide for the child is tattooed with that certificate. The birth certificate's automatic, right? All of these are systems now that can be in place from here tomorrow going forward, which means if we're awarded custody of our children by default in the courts, then what's the argument then? If the women do not get rewarded for leaving a man and taking the child, there is no incentive for that woman to leave the relationship. She no longer has entitlement. She no longer has child support. The man has a child by default. He's able to actually provide for that child in most cases, and he's also able to remarry and give the child a functioning relationship example to actually model off of.
I just wanted DMT to think the whole concept of what he was saying. That's all. I don't necessarily disagree with him. But
Trey, I agree with you saying, but I think I've always thought DNA should be mandatory at birth anyway. I think that should be a part of the birth process. So that way, even when you get to these paternity situations in child court, you already have that documentation.
So you don't even have to spend the extra because it was already done.
No dispute. No dispute.
There's no dispute there.
I gotta say what I gotta.
still have
Okay, I got something to tell you guys.
You're paying for the
DNA,
birth
right?
anyway. It just goes along with the hospital fees. You're already paying for
Yeah,
the birth.
no, DNA right now. If your wife is pregnant or your girl is pregnant, they go to the hospital. Actually, at the second trimester right now, they do offer DNA testing at the hospital. Yeah, it's your choice. It's your choice to do it now. They do offer that. I'll tell you guys.
No, they don't. I don't know where you're coming.
Okay.
Where
I was offered that. I was offered that. I'm telling you based on my experience.
Okay,
I'm not going to say anything without my
then
experience.
it's not nationwide because
Insurance is going to cover it. Insurance is going to cover it.
How about an 18 for 18 law? Here's an 18 for 18 law that'll take care of this for you, Trey. I am a man. I do not want the DNA test. I'm going to defer it. If the woman says no DNA test on that baby's 18th birthday, we're going to do a mandatory DNA test. If you have lied, woman, about who this baby belonged to and it's 18, guess how many years your monkey ass finna do for fraud?
Oh, yeah.
The highest fraud possible.
Oh, yeah. I like
years.
that.
18 for 18. You get one. You get one or two choices. We can DNA him now, or we can DNA him on his 18th birthday. And if your ass lied, we got an orange jumpsuit and a man sort of behind bars for your ass.
That's right. You better do it now than later.
It sounds great.
Okay.
It sounds great, but in practicality,
Actually, that's legal. That's legally viable. That's legally viable fraud.
Court systems in America that are gynocentric are never going to put women in jail like that.
Absolutely. So all of this is academic, Trey. I don't know why you're pulling the pin on a grenade. We're all what ifing here. We're all what ifing.
What were you gonna say, Mr. Payne?
We're doing a POC. Gentlemen, the point here is to talk about what the potential solutions are, whether they're fantastical or not. Let's just say.
I got your pain. I got your pain. I think that I got you real quick. I think that men. I think if the woman don't want to be with the man, no more, she leaves in the times we in right now because they leave it like a motherfucker. But if what they should do is, if the mother is on any type of government assistance and the state or the government has to support her, that means she cannot support the child and the child should be with the father. If the mother have a decent job, she can have visitation, but the father should be leading their children. Period. Point blank. It should be fathers leading their children because we are seeing the result of what's happening when a large majority of women are leading their children. Our sons are more flamboyant. They're more. Yeah, they're trying to.
And black man, what's the alternative if the father doesn't want the child?
If the father does not want the child, then there has to be something put in place for his ass too, right? Because then you have to have, okay, listen, if you're gonna be a punk ass father and you know that you got a child and this son belongs to you, and you don't want to be with, and you don't want to have nothing to do with this child, then we have to come put something in place for his ass too. Because he has, well, I ain't gonna say put something in place. There's already something in place for his ass.
Right.
His ass gonna go to jail if he don't pay the child support. He'll be a fucking criminal. Basically, he can't get a job. Right? He go to can't get a passport. Can't get a driver's license. Motherfucker can't drive to. So there are already things in place to destroy the man. But the woman can lie for 18 years. This man can go through 18 years of hardship. And in that courtroom, he can find out the baby is not his, the son was not his,
and he's still
and there's no consequences. And he's been stuck for 18. Imagine paying for a goddamn house for 18 years, and then as soon as you get the title, it's got another nigga name on it.
Yeah, Bernie Madoff did that to a bunch of white folks, and they put him in prison.
It's crazy.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Women get away with fraud all the time with this, and nobody ever brings it up that way. It's
no
fraud.
Consequences. No consequences.
You know good and hell well. You can feel. You got that shit from Venus. You got that spiritual shit that we don't. You know good and hell well who baby you carrying. And if you don't know, you try.
We got a lease that just came up here. Why don't we give the sister a chance to say something?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey sis.
Oh yeah, sure.
Elise, you there?
Elise?
Miss Stewart?
I'm sorry, I have put it back on mute. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I just want to add a different perspective that I don't know if guys know or even, are aware of, but there is a percentage of women that their aspiration is to be a mother. Their aspiration is not to have a husband, not to have a father, not to have a family, but their aspiration is to be a mother.
Period.
Dumbest shit ever.
I think sometimes this goes over guys' heads because you thinking, oh, the girl into me, oh, she want my baby and she want a family. No, sometimes she just wants to be a mother.
And how's that
And
working
those
out?
and those women, they're not connected to this structure, this family. They're not connected to having discipline or structure or the balance of it all or having a father in the life. They're just connected to, I want to be a mother, just like anybody else who has an aspiration. I just want to be rich. I just want this car. That's their goal. That's their aspiration.
I think
And so sometimes we're talking with our sons. We got to remind them that there are a lot of women out here like that. It's a lot of young girls too who their aspiration is, oh, when I grow up, I just want to be a mom. Not a family.
That is the most toxic. That's a great point. But that is a woman that thinks like that. That is the most toxic thing in the world. To want to just have a son and not have a father in that child's life.
I didn't say it was right. I didn't say it was right. So I'm not saying it's right.
No.
I'm just
I agree
giving a
with you.
different perspective of how some people mind frame is, and then you grow up and you have a baby with them, and then you come to see like, dang, why she ain't about family? Like, why she don't want me around my kid? Why she don't want to be involved in any type of family structure or any?
She don't want to be told shit. In the family structure, she gonna have to do what the hell that man say from time to time.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people
For whatever the reason, sir, it could be a lot of reasons. It could be because she want companionship. She feel like that baby somebody gonna always love her unconditionally. She has an accessory. She has an accessory that she can dress up. She has somebody that she can put an influence on. She has somebody that she can influence and control. She has a mini me. She has a mini me to walk around. It's a lot of fucked up reasons, okay? I'm telling you that main goal and that main aspiration is to be a mother.
So, Elise, I definitely have heard what you're saying before, and a lot of men. It's obviously becoming more common. Ebony K. Williams just basically came out and said, "I'm going at it alone." Right? Because she's embarrassed by that bus driver incident, and people are knocking her.
But she got a dude though.
Yeah, no, she don't got no dude.
Yes, she do.
She got a dude.
She Ebony K. She went on The View and said, "I am going to get a donor after I get inseminated with the donor." They said, "Oh, we also heard that you're dating." She said, "Yeah, my dentist."
Exactly.
What?
She got a dude, bro.
She's dating her dentist and getting inseminated with another man.
It sounds like y'all are impressed with the presence of sense.
Yeah. So
I was making a point to trigger that. This is how jacked up they are.
That's how jacked up. So not only do we know, but we got to understand. Let me give props to the late great like Kevin Samuels, because you have to remember, women never talk about the lies they tell, only the lies they've been told, right? So until Kevin Samuels started giving women a space to talk for themselves, because I hate when people say Kevin Samuels created a narrative about women. No, he let women create a narrative by themselves from their own mouths.
Come on.
And the things that they would say, like most men. And why do you think the red pill space is so popular? Why do you think just men's spaces now are so popular? Because we're like, we didn't know they felt this way. And the reason being is because that is the lie that women tell. They want the relationship, they want the sex, they want all of it, but they want control. And they realize that if they get in a relationship with a man of any substance, his nature knows this is not the way it's supposed to be. So at the first sign of trouble, at the first sign of actual masculinity, not toxic masculinity, actual masculinity, she will say, oh my God, I'm losing control of the situation. Most of the time, this can even happen when she's pregnant. and decide that she wants to go at it alone, take his children, and take control. That's what the system is going to let her do. So we can't act like it's a bunch of dudes out here. Who is on 60
Who
Minutes?
got their turn signal on?
Who is on 60 Minutes right now?
Make a left, nigga. Shit.
All right, shit. Damn. God, that was the longest turn ever.
You riding down the freeway with a left turn.
You must be, whoever that is must be in Texas. Y'all got some long ass lights down there.
Hell yeah.
Hey, that's why I was laughing. That was my ass, boy. This fucking light was long as fuck.
In Texas.
He damn sure is. He damn sure is.
I hated being in Texas. I'm sitting at that light forever, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Texas lights long enough for you to Moses.
Not in Houston. We got roundabouts.
Stupid.
Yeah, we got roundabouts in Houston.
We got roundabouts. If it's too long, I'm going in the roundabout, taking a different route. Forget that. But yeah, man, like so I definitely feel what you're saying, Elise. And the worst part is that lifestyle is becoming more popular. But not only is it damaging, it's like, do you not think about the child and how they need their father? Like that's why I say it's demonic to think that somebody would want to raise a child without a dad on purpose. And the worst part is that they don't want to raise them in conjunction. So you're right. They don't want to raise them where the father has equal say in what happens with the child. They want total control of what happens with that child. I think they need to start putting women in jail for this. Honestly, I think.
I mean, actually, you saying you think it's new. It's not really new. It's just being broadcasted on a broader scale, but it's not really new.
Yeah, what I'm saying
is it's a lot of OGs that were saying the same thing. Like, I just had his baby because I was getting older and I wanted a baby. You know,
and guess what? The pride parade full of them. The pride parade full of them.
Yeah, that ain't nothing new now.
Yeah, but what is new? Wait. What is new? What is new in this century is how women devalue men as fathers and as protectors and providers. Like that's what's new. Before, yeah, you can want to have a child, but you want to have a child with the guy who also loves you as well. The man gotta love you before you even have a child in the first place, or at least feel some kind of way about you. But what's new is women who absolutely think and believe and are under misconception that they can have a child and that child is going to grow up to be a functioning adult without a father or at least a stable relationship or marriage.
When you say new, what generation did you talking about?
If they decide to change the law and they start putting women in jail for what they're doing, I'm going back to work. I'm going back to getting my badge. And I'm going back to work because there's a lot of women.
You gonna leave the task force?
I wanted to arrest because they were full of shit, and I couldn't arrest them because I didn't have enough. But if they start putting women in jail for this child shit, I am going back to work.
They won't
immediately. I know they never will. I mean,
your original point. We're in the what ifs. Yeah,
we just doing. But if they did, Uncle Jeff, they got an investigator right here. I'll go right back.
I will fly where you are and ride shotgun.
Let me say this for the adjustments that need to be made in family court, because what we are seeing now is that they're about to change stuff. I guess when we say about to, they're writing bills right now. These Texas conservatives and some of the dudes, the stuff that I'm seeing them write, it's genius. Because when you write law, you can't write it literally because it's just going to get fought literally. So you have to write it in something people cannot refute. So right now, from the bills that I've seen, what they're saying is you cannot make a man pay for his own biological property and then restrain the means in which he sees that property, right? So it's like so a child is a man's biological property. You cannot say, oh, take him out of the home, make him pay this X amount. Oh, but you can only see your own property these amount of days. So watch out for that. So I've seen some of those bills.
Greg Abbott is signing shit every day.
When I went back to court, to court, and the judge was like, "Wait, how often are you seeing your child?" And I told him every other weekend. He like leaned back in his chair and he giggled. He was like, "Nah." He was like, "Absolutely not."
Yeah.
And so he looked over at her and at her attorney. He's like, "Why is he only seeing his daughter every other weekend?" And they came up with some BS reason, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, absolutely not. He's like, there's no reason for this man not to be able to have shared custody. Yeah. Literally, we were in it for about, I think I counted like 7 minutes. It did not take long. And he read it. He understood what I was saying. And I'm saying to the judge, listen, I'm retired. I'm at home. I can do whatever my child needs. I'm here. I can do it. Yeah. And the judge was like, that's all I needed to hear. Ding dang. It was done.
I'll say something real quick because Trey, and Black Man said something very, very iconic. Because I saw something on my feed from she said that how a light skinned brother found out his 3 or 4 kids is not African because they were doing some kind of project about ancestry, and when he decided to see what kind of ancestry him and his daughter is, he found out not only his first, second, and third child is not his, he figured his fourth one is not his. Imagine that one.
Well, do they look like him? Because it could be that that's her type. That's another thing. Okay, she just fucking niggas that look like you. That's how she snowed him for all that time.
And guess what she did, Uncle Jeff, when he found out about it and confronted her about it, told her to get out and get her shit, get out of his house. They're not together no more. She took the easy right out. Went got her a nice hotel room and got a hotel room and pow.
Okay, can we put this to bed? Because there seems to be an argument in the chat about this very easy to find statistic that children raised by single fathers are on par with success statistically with children raised by both parents in the home. So can we get away from this? Let's go find porn stars because they only had a daddy bullshit. Men make better parents because, in the words of Chuck D, they ask me where I get it from. I get it from my pops because with a man in the house, all the bullshit stops.
Yep. Hey, goddamn.
That's Chuck.
Oh, goddamn it. Come on, Chuck D.
That's because think about it, bro. Think about it. This used to be my rule. If I give you a punishment and you ask about it a second before it's over, you've just multiplied it by 3. And I don't have no problem with that. I don't give a fuck about your social life at all. I don't care. Food, clothing, shelter. Okay, and I'll throw cable in. That's what I'm responsible for. I'm not responsible for you being able to hang out with your friends constantly. You are. I make you responsible. Your mama, if you use the weapon on her, she used on me, tears. You can get further. You can get more yardage with her than me.
But Uncle Jeff, let me say this. Not only do they know that in the chat, the women know that are keeping their children from their fathers. What they're trying to do, remember, it irritates women, even married women. It irritates women that their children do not respond to them the same way they respond to their father. And what they are trying to do is replicate your dominance and the compliance that you get. And it frustrates them that they cannot get that amount of compliance out of their own children.
Bruh,
that they know exactly how impactful.
My ex used to say this.
Have you guys seen the video of the kid, the toddler that was crying? The toddler was sick. The mom was trying to get the toddler to go to bed, and he was giving her a fit.
The dad came out the corner
walks into the room. He snaps his finger. He points at the bed. That boy hops in the bed, lays down. Good night. It's over. And if you read the comments, oh, the dad is abusive. It's just like it was. I was like, what? I'm like, no, he's a father. He knows the same thing with me. That I don't have to do a whole lot of talking. I can look at you one time. They already know. Okay, whatever. All right, I'm just gonna go to bed.
But Trey, think about it.
Can I share?
Why only in this country you have women who have an issue with raw father being father and want to call it abusive unless they are stuck on stupid, retarded, good for nothing, want to be an undesirable element?
Because it's not her way of parenting. I have a story that goes with this real fast. I would pick my when I had my sons, I would tell my ex, one time she called me on the phone, get on the phone. My 2 youngest sons get on the phone. They did A, B, C, and D. And I go, fellas, did you do that? Yes. All right, I'll see you in 45 minutes. Oh! Get off the phone. I said, now, here's the problem. If you'd have told me this weekend when I picked them up, I could have talked to them about it. But now that you done had them hear it, there can never be a time when you shoot up the bat signal and Batman don't show up. Because that's the beginning of the slide. So after that, she goes, okay, we're going to try it that way. The oldest one, I keep telling him to take the trash out and he won't do it. I said, okay, well, I'm going to talk about that when I drop him off. I drop him off. We sitting there. I said, your mama said that you're not taking the trash out. He said, well, I'm supposed to do it when it needs it. I said, is that your rule? She said, yes. I said, that's your problem. Here's the rule. Every night before you go to bed, the trash goes out.
Goddamn right.
Dad, sometimes there's nothing in there. I said, well, you know what I want you to do? I want you to take nothing, fold it up, and put it out. For 3 weeks, that's what he was doing. When he started to slide, she said, okay, now he's sliding. I said, okay, fine. I picked him up again. When I came home, dropped him off, I gave him a hug and kiss goodnight. I let him go upstairs. The trash was still in the house. So I went up and knocked on his door. He opens the door. He's a neat freak, by the way. I took his bed back, his bedding back, and I shook that trash all in his bed. And I said, the trash goes out every night. And turned around and walked out. That is not her place to do that.
That's
not her place.
Yeah, because she doing it's emasculating it. She's emasculating it.
Let me look at the chat.
Come on, boy, you about to preach tonight.
Hey, he gonna grow up to be, and he grows up to be garbage man.
Why would you do that to
That's
his
abuse,
dad?
Uncle Jeff.
That's abuse.
Dude, my daddy, bro.
That's abuse, Jeff. You
I got some daddy stories. My father.
You're scarring those
y'all,
kids,
we gotta
Jeff.
make bold
Scarring
statements.
them.
We gotta make bold statements because we're not playing with these women anymore. Y'all can't raise better kids than us. Stop trying.
You can't.
You cannot. I mean that like it's a competition. You can't raise. I understand that this is an arms race. That's why I will never leave my kids. I literally have to be taken. This is an arms race. My children versus your children. Meaning they're going to compete for jobs. They're going to compete for footing everywhere. So I'm making sure they got better footing than,
armed.
I can amend that. Let me amend that. I think they raise kids. I don't think they raise functioning adults, responsible adults. Because kids you can be the grown ass adult but you're still a child. You're still running to mommy at 21. You're still, hey mommy, I don't have no money. Mommy, I don't have this. Mommy, I got in the fight. They're not functioning adults.
Right.
They're used to raising only kids. Agreed. And kids obey everything mama says, your parents say. Functioning adults learn to think for themselves and make better decisions based on consequences.
And that's why 20-year-old kids. That's why 20-year-old kids need help filling out applications and shit.
Yo,
Trigger.
Yeah, where else do you get grown men that can't change a fucking flat tire?
They mama
Trigger. I want to challenge something that you said, Trigger.
Yep.
You said that women are trying to change. They're trying to get men. They're trying to act like men so the kids will listen to them.
Yep.
Similar to that, right? Okay. I actually see that different. I think they are trying to emasculate men and make men seem weak, so men will talk just like women.
I think both things can be happening at the same time.
You think so?
I think both things are happening. I think both things are happening. So you're right. But I think both things
you're right, John. Both things are happening.
There's room for everybody here to be right because this is
they emasculate the boy. So I'll tell you right now, because my voice, if you notice characteristics about me, I'm raised by my mom, but I don't have a deep voice, right? I don't have the authoritative, I'm intimidating, things like that. But that comes from just being raised by my mom. My father is completely different. He's a different type of man. So when I'm being raised by my mom and my sister, all I've heard all my life is, you ain't supposed to do this and you ain't supposed to do that. There is no, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how men operate. There is no instruction or passing of the baton of masculinity from my mom or my sister. They're not in any position to do that. Only my father is. So what happens when we get older later in life, I have to find my masculinity because no one is there to hand it to me.
Yep, I went through the same thing. Right?
That's why.
Damn.
I didn't learn. There's a lot of stuff I didn't pick up until I got on my own at 18 because I moved out.
Yeah.
My dad was kind of a weekend dad. I wouldn't even call him a weekend dad. He's like an every month and a half dad. But I had to learn things just like either from men at my job, men that I was around just on a day-to-day basis. Men, or I called my uncle. I lived with my uncle for a minute. He gave me a lot of game.
You had to put it on you instead of having it in you.
Yeah, you realize you come up short. There's ways you come up short when you're raised by just a woman. So you got to make up for that. You got to overcome. So you got to figure out, dang, how can I learn to change a tire? I ain't learned how to change a tire until I was like 17. Right? I should have known how to do that at 12. I didn't know how to paint properly and do carpentry work till I was like 19. I should have learned all that earlier. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens.
Let me say this, DMT, because listen, I'm a student of the game of YouTube, and there are men who are raised by their fathers that don't know how to do some of these tasks, and women are going to use that against you. Well, I know a man is going to we're not going to say that anymore. Do you know what men actually do? Because not all men learned everything from their fathers. What you do is get the confidence to realize that you can do whatever the hell you can put your mind to.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
Another thing I
Because
want to
my
add to that.
father, the one thing that my father did for me is let me know what the hell my job was. He didn't even teach me how to put shit together. He just dropped whatever it is that he just bought off and pulled a manual out and said, fix this shit. So he left me there, and I had no idea, to where I just became the person who knew what a hex wrench was, who knew what a ratchet was, left me with all the tools. That is exactly what he did. He said, this is your job. Anything that requires labor, this is literally your purpose on this earth. You will figure it out. There is no challenge that I think is for men that I won't step up and do. My dad put that battery in my back. It doesn't matter if I know it or not. Because this is the reason I found y'all on YouTube. I was looking, I had never caulked the tub before, and I just wanted, we bought this house, and I just wanted to put some extra caulk around the tub. I didn't know if I needed to buy a scraper or a box cutter, and I was like, look at these niggas on YouTube talking shit. I want to be a part of this, but I was learning how to do something because that's what men do. So all fathers don't teach us, but they put that battery in your back to say you can do anything. If one man can do it, you can do it. Go ahead.
Now, Trigger Mike, let me ask you a question. Do you think that, two questions. Do you think your mother could have done that? And to the women that's in the chat right now, or women that are going to be watching later on, that are saying, well, a woman can do just as much as a man can do in that area.
Absolutely
what would you say?
Absolutely not. Do you know why? Because women need men for these things. Literally. So let me tell you why Jiffy Lube, Valvoline, and all these places are literally, I'm probably going to buy stock in them. Because if women are single, that means they're paying other men to do shit that the man in the house would have done. All right. So what a boy is going to watch is his mother spend money to get these easy ass services done. Not only that, she's shaming the older brother for not knowing how to do it. Like men come with a starter pack that we get downloaded in the Matrix when we're born, knowing how to do shit. Because they don't even realize that a boy learns through trial. We don't have a starter pack in us. And so since she doesn't know, she's just going to shame the person she thinks is supposed to know. So she's going to pay for tire rotations that she could have did herself. She's going to pay for oil changes he could have did for her. She's going to pay for all of this. So that's what the boy's going to end up doing.
Well, you know where this feminism goes? Why don't you ask any which really cracks me up, and this is still in the same subject, black women who consider themselves in the feminist movement, when the feminist movement is about the white woman not getting her fair share of what her man stole from the Indians. That don't have a goddamn thing to do with you. What's going to happen, brother, is this collapse we keep talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the Ukraine. There ain't no feminists in the Ukraine.
Not a one.
When society breaks down, those women who said, I only want a man, I don't need one, will not have one.
They're going to
I
be
want to go to the kitchen. I want to go to the kitchen.
No, they will run their asses.
So I have a cousin. I got cousins that live in the UK, and I got one cousin that lived in Denmark. We had a group call maybe a few weeks ago, and all they kept saying is bruv. That's how they talk. You know, UK people talk. Can you believe? So a lot of the people whose family from the Ukraine, whose family were spread out throughout Europe, you see these women partying in clubs and trying to steal other people's boyfriends simply to have housing and shelter. So now the women of Denmark, now the women in the UK got a problem with those women that left Ukraine because they're just seeking asylum in the wrong places. They're seeking asylum in those women's beds.
They're marauders.
Dog, like that. I was just like, this is feminism gone wrong. Is the second the shooting starts, you want to go back to your natural role. That's crazy.
Men, if I can encourage the young men, do not let society suppress your voice. I don't care what laws they change, what rules they change. It's better to die as a man than live as a punk. Do not let society suppress your manhood. I don't care how they dress up and what I don't care how many genders they come up with. You do not get suppressed by society.
Man, say that shit one more time. It's better to do what? It's better to die a man than what?
It's better to die a man than live as a punk.
How about that?
I think when men start taking and owning more responsibility, especially over their children, I think the women will start to change their tune, because with the taking responsibility, we're also taking authority, we're also taking legitimacy, we're also taking credibility. You can't call us like waste men or whatever anymore if if what we want is what's best for our children to grow up and become functioning adults rather than sustain children that are always dependent on mommy and daddy for things. What we want is to raise a child into a functioning adult so that they can think for themselves and make the best decision out of any option available.
I love you, EBD, but you trying to think with I've said the same thing. People ask me, if you could be a woman for the day, would you? I say, yeah, if I can just play with the coochie and not be stuck in the brain. Okay, you trying to think, you trying to apply logic to this. They already see this shit. They already see it. The problem is the issue is not whether men take responsibility. The issue is that black women have been given a sword that they don't want to give back.
That's right.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think that they're in relationship in a leadership position with a woman when actually you're in a partnership. If you want to see if you're a leader to a woman, ask her to do something and don't explain why, and she can't see the danger. A woman will follow you if she can see the danger. That's Lot's wife shit. You about to see a lot of Lot's wives out here. Whole bunch of, why I got to move, bam, bam, poof. You gonna see a whole bunch of that coming now. If you're in a relationship with a woman and we gonna do what you say till we disagree, then I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to. That's a partnership.
Yeah,
Uncle Jeff, you are so right on that one. I was talking to a young friend of mine the other day. He was having the same issue. Like he's been dating girls. He's been divorced. He's dating girls now. He's dating again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and I don't want to tell his whole life story, but he had a couple situations. But in the situation, he was asking me, "How do you know when you got the right one?" I say, first of all, you know you got it right when she wait till she's in your face, wait till she's comfortable, and ask her to do something that's going to take a lot of time to get done, and ask her to do it on the spot. See how she responds. Anytime a woman responds to you, that gives you a clear sign that she's willing to work. She's willing to follow your leadership. If she's not, leave her alone. Don't spend time with her. Don't go no further in that process. Don't go no further.
Listen.
Come on in the office. Bring your playbook.
The way to say that is, women today prioritize comfort. Introduce a little discomfort into your relationship. Men should only be married to service women, service-oriented women. You can't afford to be with anybody else, because if she's only focused on being happy in the relationship, you cannot provide that. Every man on earth who has ever tried to make his woman happy has failed. That's not your job.
I also say this too to all these guys that they got to pay all the bills. I think that's a mistake. I think that's a big mistake. I would never put myself in a situation where I pay all the bills. Now I can, but I would never do it.
The bills or wait. The bills or her bills?
Huh?
The bills or her bills?
No. When me and my wife got married,
what's the difference?
All of.
I mean, the bills are for the house, right? For everybody. But there are some people, the men out there that take care of their house and take care of her and her bills. You know what I mean?
Okay,
no, there's some men who do that.
No, either way it go, I'm not paying all the bills for her or me. Matter of fact, I'm gonna use all of her paycheck to pay the bills. Because first of all, okay, you're my wife. God gave you to me. Now, whether you believe in God or not, it's my premise. He gave you to me. So therefore, anytime you take away from me has to benefit me. So this everybody bragging about I pay all the bills. Better rethink this one.
And let me say this:
you can afford to pay all the bills, but you better not do it.
So,
Trigger Mike.
Let me say this to that bills thing. not only are there women who are willing to contribute and help in any way that you need to, including bills, you have to understand that is really the purpose of family together, right? Everybody working, because I can remember my mom sitting around the table saying, "Oh, well, if I do this, then we can have this too." Like he was planning everything by himself. But if I do that, then we can get this, and the children can have this, and we can have this. This is why no other ethnic group has this discussion, because the couple that grinds the hardest, their wife just get to sit down first. That's it. They will grind together. They will work together. They will do whatever needs to be done for the purpose of family, to live a more comfortable life than they lived, to provide for their children and give them opportunities that they never had. And then when you see the wife work to help with that, it's usually like what, around 45, 50 for most people, where whatever the man is doing, whether it's in work or business, just starts taking off. And the wife says, well, I'm going to just scale back. I'm going to scale back. That was 42 years old from my mom. Closed her beauty supply store and never been back to work since.
Hey, real quick, Mike, before y'all go.
You can do either one you want to. You can do either one you want to. You can let her go to work, or you can let her stay home. But either way it go, it has to benefit you. How you want it to work. If it don't benefit you, don't support it.
This is something I've said many times. This is something I've said to you guys many times. It's okay for the man to pay all the bills. I've said it many times. Look at where I'm going. Just hear me out. I've said it's okay for the man to pay all the bills, but she cannot keep 80% of her income. It has to be taken away from her, diverted somewhere. If you, as a man, choose to pay the bills, you cannot allow your wife to keep 80% of her income.
Exactly.
So it's either she's paying the bills with you, or she's taking 80% of that income, putting it into somewhere that will pay other bills or take other care of the family or pay for other stuff. But 80% of her income must be gone.
Absolutely. So not only do I agree with that, so just like John said, remember, most women do not want to stay home to be of benefit to the home and save you money. They want to be home to spend money and go to brunch with their friends. That's what the modern woman wants to do. So if your wife isn't making money on the behalf of the family, she better be saving money on behalf of the family. That's really the only way to sum it up. She better be cooking meals so you don't have to eat out. She better be watching the kids and other people's kids so we don't have to pay for childcare. She better be worth her freaking weight in gold. If you're gonna be staying home.
And you know what? Let me say this real quick. I'll land my point. Go ahead.
No, you gotta go.
No. I was gonna say, alluding to before we get too far away from what Trigger Mike said. Like you can't. We are competing. Men can no longer compete with God. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Like what you just said, men cannot make women happy. If you do that, you'll drive yourself in the ground. I mean, God gave women hair; they get extensions. He gave them lashes; they go get them longer. He gave them titties; they go get breast implants. He gave them my ass; they go get BBLs. He gave them, he gave it. If what God gave them don't make them happy, you don't have a motherfucking chance. So stop trying to make them happy, bro. You cannot make them happy, man.
Well, I don't think we're.
You can't do it.
I don't think.
Anybody got anything? Go ahead, Uncle Jeff.
I don't think we're, and this is what has happened again to the modern woman. I don't think we're clear on what happiness is.
Right. Come on, brother.
The reason that women have a problem being made happy is because they think that happiness is a particular destination, and it's not. Happiness is a gas station on the journey. You fill up and get happy, but we got shit to do. That if we are going to build, if we are going to make something of any import, it is going to be difficult a lot of the time, and we are going to find ourselves in difficult, uncomfortable situations, and we're gonna have to pull into happiness. Girl, let's take a break and eat this popcorn and watch this movie on Netflix that we didn't do, and let that make you happy for a fill up there. But if you think that you're gonna buy your way
relocate your way into happiness. This is where we get this. You'll never buy enough Birkin bags. You'll never buy enough Manolo shoes. You'll never drive enough cars. You'll never have your face look the way you want to, or your titties look the way you want to, or your ass look the way you want to, if you think that any of that is going to arrive you at happy. It won't.
Let me say this just to Hank, I'm gonna let you get a word in to end the show. I'm gonna be sincere here. I really feel for women, man, because one of the things that frustrates me is that they do not understand that this happiness that they seek, then they say they're gonna go at it alone when they were literally made for companionship with a man. They are going to suffer. I'm telling you, it's your homegirls tell on you. You talk to them, they pillow talk with us. I know you crying yourself to sleep at night. I know you have these outbursts after brunch and you're like, oh my God, I'm so lonely. And you feel like you're about to delete yourself. I hear the other end of the phone. I hear you crying on the other end of the phone. Stop lying to us on YouTube. We hear you. So I'm telling you, like, literally learn that your life is about companionship. Learn to do that institution correctly. Learn to work with the man and give up control. You get the bliss and fulfillment that you want in your natural role as a woman. Stop overcompensating, trying to live the life of a man, because pressure was made for shoulders, not hips. That's why you are upset. That's why you frustrated. That's why you on YouTube gaslighting.
Trigger Mike, hips can hold pressure too. No, ma.
Shut up. Shut your ass
up. This next shit coming is gonna make them or break them. This next shit is gonna break that spell, or you're gonna die with it.
Look, Uncle Jeff. You know the worst part is that not only is this gonna break them, and we're gonna watch, they have done so much damage to the psyche of men. We are not gonna help them. I mean, there's no possible way. The men that they have scorned, they're literally just gonna give them the middle finger.
We're not supposed to. We're not supposed
young
to.
Boy,
Mike.
they're young men. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Jeff. My bad.
Mike.
I just want to say y'all have a good day, man, and I'll holler at y'all later. I'll make it to my destination.
All right.
I'll shut the fuck up too, because I gotta go. Mike, your wife, my wife. I will lend it to the wives on the panel. Brother, they exist, but they make up the minority that's gonna make it. Remember, there are 2 million more of these creatures than there are us. We are supposed, if you cannot come under the subjection of a man when the shit hits the fan, then you're gonna get what you get. And it's gonna be a gang of them. And I didn't write this. This writing's on the wall, brother. So let them. That's why, man, when black women talk this horrible delusional shit, they do you such a favor. They do you such a favor. Because now that's one you don't have to take serious. I got 17 chances to take my bet shot due to mathematics before you count the horrible niggas. So okay. You're next.
All right, Hank, send us off. I got to take my boy to Taekwondo. And Mr. Rich, we're going to get you in there too.
Get him out of Taekwondo. Put him in MMA. Taekwondo is just cute kicking. He'll get his ass whooped.
It's just about focus at this point. You're trying to get him to whoop
focus on MMA, nigga. He going to get your son's ass whooped. I'm trying to tell you. He's trying to tell you. Put him in
hey, look at my thoughts on everything, man. Look, I believe in one pot.
Yep.
We come together. Our money comes together. I don't care how much money I make or how much money she makes. It's one pot. And that's how we roll. There you go.
But do you know why we are like that?
Hold on, Ike. Hold on, Ike.
Damn,
we are like that.
Hold on, Ike.
Fuck what Hank is saying.
Man, so it's about one pot, and we just recently sold a home in Texas. This is the home that my future wife lives in.
Okay.
Or lived in. Just sold it. What do you think she did? She brought that to the home, to the claim account. You damn right.
Hell yeah.
We made $138,000 profit on that house.
That's what I'm talking about.
She brought it home to me. Wired it, everything.
Thank you.
To us.
Thank you.
Why? Because she trusts
the vision. You don't know what to do with it.
Yes, exactly. Now, we're going to turn around and flip that to a new home here. I'm going to rent out my current home. I got 2 other homes, one on Section 8, one up used for Airbnb. It's all about money, making money with my wife. I don't look at it as no partner because we're not equal, and she knows that. She's accepting that. But men, I was just came back from Jamaica. My lady said, "Well, I want to leave him here." She was just playing. She said, "Ma'am, don't leave him here. It's 10-1 out here. He will not be single for long." I looked at her. I said, "You goddamn right." I said, "Matter of fact, I see some trying to get at me. So you better watch your step and watch your mouth." But I'm just letting these ladies know, hey, it's rough out here. And if they not looking to share a man, guess what y'all gonna end up being? A bunch of goddamn golden girls down in Florida. Get ready. They coming.
Hey man, so it's funny that you say this, but you know, by judging by the reaction to the Umar Johnson bullshit with the crew that just happened, Daily Wrap Up crew.
Yeah.
When he was saying all that horse shit about, it's all men's fault and stuff like that. You could tell that men are no longer, just taking bullshit from anybody anymore. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even if it's, we kind of own the faults that we have. It's time to say that there's some things that women are doing that they have to own. They just have to own. We own the shit that we do. Some things we own together, and some shit women have to say, listen, we're responsible for some bullshit that we need to stop doing. And until they could start, actually, taking accountability, which I hate the word almost, is almost no meaning. I don't think we could move forward. So there's going to be a lot of women being left behind. There's just going to be a lot of women being left behind because it's just inevitable.
Let me tell you something real quick. What I've been saying for a while, for almost 2 years.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna drop down. I'm gonna say this. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say I gotta go. I really gotta go.
Okay.
Thank y'all
for that boy in MMA.
I was about to say, yeah, I'm running late. He don't even have his what is the gi? He don't even got his gi on yet. His little uniform. But shout out to everybody that came through today. I'm about to take my boy to Taekwondo. Let me get these super chats read real quick. Advanced Perception, $2. Diary of a Tired Black Woman. 2 covered this as well. I believe rich kids need to go through poverty tests before they inherit the family fortune. Gotta gain an appreciation for the money you don't have. That is true. John the Baptist, $100 versus lifetime child support. I'm choosing $100. Me University, Trigger Mike just summed it up. Service woman. Service-oriented woman is the only woman you need to be with. Me University, 85+% of male paycheck goes to bills in any scenario. That is true. J-Rock, $5. Hey, Trigger Mike, I got a funny 59-second vid of Melanie King and Six the Goddess acting a fool talking about a man's size on Cam Newton podcast. Oh, I think I saw that too. I'm gonna look at I saw that. That was dope. I appreciate y'all, man. Trigger Mike gonna get out of here. Tonight is the big show. I'm on it, but I don't know if I'm hosting or I'm just a panelist. So if you are a Trigger Mike fan, if you want to see some of the people on there, see who the panel got tonight, the big show, Lapeef Let's Talk, is tonight. Set the bell for notifications. Come through and show your support. All right. Tonight's episode is called Rich Men Are Most Likely to Be Cheated On. Damn. All right. That's a dope topic. I know y'all want to get in on that conversation. Make sure you come back here 8 p.m. Central or 8 p.m., 8:30 Central. Set your YouTube notifications. Hit that bell so you know when this program is coming on the greatest network on YouTube, which is the Lapeef Network. We will see y'all later. Have a good night. I am out. Peace.